Looks like my audio is a bit cleaner, but I also can't tell for sure, obviously, because streaming and audio is apparently a thing I have not mastered. Um, Anyhow, the opening round is having some difficulties and some people are complaining about it, but it's only because people show up and don't, or it's because people drop. So, like, this table of three probably tried to queue with four or five and somebody had to drop. Lumen won his first game, it looks like, which isn't shocking. The standings being like that are not surprising. Here we go, yeah. So this I don't love this tournament in regards that second places are get you 6 points and whatever. I wonder how some people have sevens. Maybe four-player tables are modified. Oh, like some players were missing, so they just got automatic 7 point buys. That's annoying, but it happens. It's just more annoying that people sign up and don't play. Yeah, they're just getting 7 points because people don't even show up. A lot of people aren't showing up, which happens all the time. But anyhow, 6 points for second and 3 points for third is pretty kind. It really means that just avoiding last is pretty important. But anyhow, my next game's up, so. So this is presumably all players that kind of won their last game. So anyhow, people should largely be here now at least, which will be good. So just responding there to chat. Yeah, they've asked us. They've asked anybody that's streaming this weekend to not. Uh, they've asked players to not be reading chat during games, which during tournament atmospheres it's fine. Like it makes enough sense. I agree. I think chat can largely police themselves, but oh well. Anyhow, we're back actually live. I again don't fully understand if people actually hear me ahead of time or not. I don't really understand how stream delays work. But regardless, hopefully the audio is clean this time and we'll play through the rest of these games. Oh, Simon is trying to actually tell me things. Yeah. And it is better now. Okay, sweet. That's great to hear. Okay. Somebody is not finding their way to this table yet, and they're apparently the strongest players. I mean, we'll see. Anyhow, again, rounds are pretty fast, although this is closer to half-hour rounds now between games because people are not finishing or joining as fast as they should be. But this is the other problem with these BGA tournaments. It's really handy for the organizers though, like for everything to automatically be done rather than having to post player pairings. For those of you in the Terra Mystica world, know that like for Fire 2 tournaments, when we try to get those qualifier games in, it can be pretty painful watching Bizzle like post the player standings and actually getting things going. I do think that trying to use BGA's stuff to work is quite nice, but whoever this player is really needs to join this table. Otherwise, the game's just going to start in a few more minutes. And if it starts without you, you're kicked. I think you just get kicked for the rest of the tournament. So, like, the tournament is a little bit of a war of attrition. Like it says 162 players, but the number of people actually participating in this next round significantly less. Yeah, see how many like extra we've already lost, like we lost 20 to 30 players there probably. So hopefully they figure out that they're at this table in a second. Given that they're not at this table, let's see what the chat world says. The audio is clear. This is Swiss-like? Yeah, it is Swiss. Top finishers advance, everyone else is eliminated. Nobody's eliminated. The only players that are eliminated are those that drop out. Everybody is playing 8 games otherwise. We're going to play 8 games. We're trying to play 5-player games, but if it has to, it'll be less. You get 8, 6, 4, 2, 0 for finishing. And yeah, we're playing 8 matches. It's a Swiss style, so I'm now paired against a bunch of other winners, and each round I'm going to keep being paired against people that have the same points as me as best as possible. We just play 8 rounds. At the end of those 8 rounds, the top 25 go into semifinals plus final. So I'm going to wind up seeing a lot of the same players toward the end of the tournament if I keep doing well. Because it's going to keep pairing us together. But yeah, like unfortunately, like this player looks like they're very good and very strong, and so it's going to be kind of sad. But it looks like they're going to drop out because this table is going to start automatically without them. Like yeah, it starts at 1400 with present players, which is now. So yeah, it waits 5 minutes, but like the game was supposed to start then, and it's going to start any minute now. In fact, I'm going to refresh because I don't trust BGA. But it looks like we're still good. I think I'm actually on like a 3 or 5 minute delay. I'm not quite sure about 10. It felt a little excessive to be on a 10-minute delay. The game itself is only like 10 minutes long once it starts, so. Whoops. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Yeah, I have a game. Take me to my game. There we go. All right. It is a 4-player though. Hey team, I know 4-player a lot better than I know 5-player. Although this is a new table or like new thing, but we have Alexandria again. I like Alexandria quite a lot, but I don't have a wood symbol next to me, and I have a wood across the board. I think getting 4 wood here is going to be a lot more onerous, so I think I'm going to run A side this time. Also, this stage is a lot easier to hit when I already have a cloth next to me. So I think I'm gonna do that. Split resources usually are the best starts. I want some of that, so I'm gonna take that. I could try to go kind of sciencey this game. The scriptatorium's in this hand. We'll see. We get the split there. Because I have a wild, I don't really care about buying resources much this game. Once I get the wild up, which will take me a little bit. But here, I think I play an Orvane for myself. I'm going to want 1 this game, and I don't need a double. So I'm going to play that. There's the other split resource. It's fine. They got distributed. This hand doesn't have a lot for me, so I probably start military a little. I am next to Rhodes, so I'm going to have some military troubles. Nobody's committed to science yet. So I could go for it myself, but I'm not feeling. Science is so risky against good players, usually. So I think I go military here. Especially with the person across the table from me went a bit military. The only thing I need to remind myself of is what is there 2 of? There's 2 guard towers. So I might get another guard tower passed my way. So I'll play the barracks here. Take the unique card. Because I am getting past another guard, or I'm getting past a guard tower. I don't know if I take the guard tower. I could take the workshop here but my opponent's likely to pay me 2 coins, but it could be a kind of grossly strong science start if I pass them the workshop here. So it might be correct to block it. Just playing the guard tower here is kind of reasonable though too for like a really heavy military start. I'm really actually not sure how to play this one. Also, I always forget how these are pointed. This is pointed at your counterclockwise neighbor. I really hate how the arrows are on BGA. Like, I want to pretend that this player is like at the table, and that looks like it's pointing at me, but it's actually pointed at this player, which is fine. But I'll play the military card. I'm really not sure though. That hand is tough. Also, unfortunately, the other stone is across the table from me, so that's gonna put some pressure on me. I think here the correct play is to block the Scriptatorium and just sell it. I really. Oh wait, they already have a Scriptatorium. What am I talking about? I already just passed them the card they want. They're gonna pay me. It might be correct to just play a 3-point card here. Usually selling is correct, but that's the old edition selling is correct. I'm assuming I'm about to get 2 coins here because I think hey is gonna pay me 2 coins for my glass. So I think I'm playing this. And yeah, I am getting paid 2 coins, but this is a strong science start. The rest of the table is definitely on watch now. I might just be playing 3 more points here, which is kind of crazy. I really unfortunately need another stone and then to build out stuff. It's pretty slow over here, actually. It's a bit ugly. But I don't think my neighbor here is going to, like, I don't think this is going to help much. So I think it just has to be a 3-point card. Because yeah, my neighbor is just gonna go heavy science with Hallie too. So actually, selling a card didn't even matter much there. Yeah, this could be a problem. My economy is definitely a bit ugly here. Like this game is looking not great for me. All the military cards are here, they're trash. All the other cards here are pretty trash for me too. This is a really unfortunate opening draw. None of this is what I want. I don't want to play a double brick. I don't need it. I don't really want to play a loom. Both of my neighbors already have looms, so like they're never going to pay for it off of me. I could just play a forum, I guess, for 2 coins. That maybe is the play. That actually might be the best here. Yeah, I like the idea of that. The forum's probably okay here. I don't want to play. I don't want to pay my crazy science neighbor. I think he's in the strongest position here. Okay, that's fine. I can't afford the Caravanassery, which would be a lifesaver here. I don't get the double stone that I need. I can't get through this stage. If paying for the forum turns out to be a mistake, paying a Caravanassery here would be a huge help if I could afford it. But I can't afford it, so I could pay 2 coins for a stables, try to lock up some military points. But I guess it's what I do. But this is not good. This is very dangerous if I don't get money soon. And it's not clear to me who's going to pay me any money. Yeah, I can't even play this card anymore, and it's my last chance at it. So I've screwed myself here. I can't build my wonder this game unless somebody builds that for me. I could sell this card, but I think that's a mistake. I think I want somebody to bury it. So I'm just gonna sell this thing is slightly better for my opponents, but I've messed this game up. I mean, the distribution wasn't ideal for me this game, but I've also navigated it really poorly. I've spent all my money when I needed players to pay me, and I'm going to get very punished for it now. Oh wait, there is a second quarry though. Duh. Okay, of course there's 2 quarries and 4 players still. Okay, well that saves me a little bit, but this is still too slow. I think I had to sell a card. It feels slow, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's not the end of the world. I'm very slow on my wonder here, though. Getting the second stage out would help a lot, but I guess the rest of this age I could just bury cards. Huh, my opponents are going a little military, though. I could just play the walls here. Really lock up military here. Even if this happens, which it's going to. I still would win the battle. I mean, it's investing a lot into military, though, in order to win. I could also just bury it, I guess, is maybe the better answer. My opponent won't find one in the discard, so I'll guaranteedly beat them. I'll tie this opponent. That's probably better than playing this. It's probably more important to just rush my wonder stage. And here, I guess I bury this just because this card is absolutely useless to this player, but this player is still just in such a dominant spot. Again, I don't want to pay this player at all, so we'll pay that way. But yeah, I'm back to no money, which is really a bad spot to be in. My neighbors not having to pay me money is unfortunate. Uh, uh, this is a 4-point guild that's underwhelming, so I probably just play the military card here because it's free. This hand sucks for me, like really sucks. I don't care about. I don't want this many military cards. Like, there's nothing else in here on the wheel for me, probably. I'm in a bad spot this game for sure. This player looks to have already won to me. Like, they actually picked up a military win this last stage too, just because this player is not playing military at all. This looks like they have so much ability to chain stuff here, and they still just have some free. Well, it's not free pulls. They do need to pay in order to. They have to buy a brick, and I guess they don't have money, so that could slow them down. Yeah, they had to just sell to start the age, so that's something. Uh we have a decorator's guild, just a straight 7 points as long as I complete my own wonder. I plan to complete my wonder, although I need people to pay me coin, which is not happening. There is sadly no whatever Ludus in 4 player, but that would certainly save me. I could just play the Haven here in order to get a couple of coins, which might be what I have to do, because gosh, do I need money. It's not clear to me when this neighbor's ever going to buy anything off of me. So I think I have to create my own money, which is also just a terrible spot to be in. Free Pantheon is a great card here. Yeah, this looks real bad. I think I'm taking a fourth here. Apparently, I should have gone more science early. I think that player is just getting away with too much. Um, I plan to eventually build one more stage of my wonder, so this is a 5-point card. It's probably what I should play here. It gives me a lot of money flexibility over the last 2 cards. So I think that's what I'll do. But yeah, this game's trouble. My neighbor's gonna win the military battle against me, which is fine. Here I bury the scientist guild. Not that any of my neighbors apparently have helped much with the science burying, by the way. At this point, I don't know if it's actually clear if Royal Karma is going to beat me or not. So I think I actually start paying Hey Hey Hey. I think Hey 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 is just winning this game. Like, they're going to get another. I'm passing them another symbol. So yeah, I think I just accept Hey 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 is winning the game. Unfortunately, the Decorators Guild is getting taken from me. That was the best card in that pack that could have wheeled to me. I'm not even sure what's coming anymore, but it's not going to be good enough. I think I'm still just on path to a 4-point game here. I do get a 6-point card here. Okay, that's pretty good. I think I'm still paying Hey Hey Hey, because Hey 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 is going to get, even if he builds this Wonder Stage, which he can, I passed him a guaranteed tablet, so he has that's a 12-point play, 13-point play. There's no way anybody's catching that. So I think I continue to pay him and hope I can catch Royal Karma, even though I'm pretty sure I'm fourth. Although Royal Karma had to sell a card there. So he is going to win 2 military battles. But I got to play a card there and he only got to sell a card. It's going to be close. I might beat Royal Karma. I probably am taking last though still, I think. Yeah, I'm last by a couple points to Royal Karma, and Mahol Wereth is just a little bit better. And Hey 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 had the dominating science game there. looks like I needed to block science a little more that game. I needed to set up my economy better. I needed to get paid more money by my opponents. Everything was just bad there. So oh well. Looks like my next game's already ready. We're on to 4 players. That's interesting. I wonder if the tournament's just or small enough that we're just automatically on to fours. But all right. If I'm reading chat, how long does a game of Tournament Terra Mystica take, and how long is there usually between games? So I'm checking chat only between rounds. Um, Terra Mystica tomorrow is going to take probably 2 to 2.5 hours per game, and the time between games is just how like there is there's going to be a little bit of time because we have to wait for all the things to finish, and then for the tournament organizer to put those results in, and then he puts out new table pairings. So there's probably like 15 to 20 minutes from when the last game ends to the next one starts. So like it's probably going to be a pretty long thing tomorrow. Anyhow, back to not looking at chat and back to this game. Here, old was that you would always take this side. It looks like you still just always take this side. Yeah, it looks like B side is just strictly better. You get more money and the money is spaced out, and the resources are just as good either way. This is the perfect split card for Ephesus, getting both the stone and the wood. This is a great start. We do have a Halley again, so somebody needs to worry about the science, or people need to be good about burying the science. I'm the best like answer for who's gonna slow down the science player. So maybe, but we'll see. I do like the fact that my neighbor already has a starting stone. Um, People are complaining about the wonders, and that's fair. The wonders are slightly different balanced. I really don't know the balance in New Edition, so I can't really speak to it. Uh, so I might play the West Trading Post here. Buying resources from this player could work out this game. They might continue to play more resources. At the very least, it's going to save me the 1 stone I have to buy. And I like buyers with Ephesus because you tend to buy a lot. The other option is I just play the loom and I hope that the apothecary comes back, but I would expect this player to go heavy science. So I think I'm just going to play more economy. And this player just got the other split card, so I'm extra happy I played this trading post. They have so many resources for me to buy from, which looks really good. I think with this player playing the glassworks here and knowing what's coming, I think it is my job to start blocking here. I think burying the glasswork or this workshop is pretty important. So I'm gonna get rid of it right away. I don't really have a better thing to do in this hand anyhow, and blocking my opponent from getting all the science cards is important because they're going to be past the apothecary, and if I don't bury the glassworks there, there's a good chance they're going to get past it. So I think that was good move on my end. Playing a military card here is fine. Playing a science card doesn't really matter. It's not going to hurt my opponent. Playing point card is okay. Playing the ore vein is okay. I really don't know what I prefer. I could just always buy an ore, but I eventually need a second ore for this. So I think the ore vein actually long term is going to pay off for me. My opponent plays a wood, which is great. He's being such a nice opponent. I can buy all the resources from him that I ever would want. I don't even think I need more coins this game, though. My economy looks so good, so I'm just going to play a military card here. Nobody's played military yet at age 1. This is a very promising start overall, especially since I got to bury the glassworks on the science player, and the science player's economy looks really dangerously bad. I think I'm in a very good spot here. The only thing is this player's been playing all of those symbols. I eventually need a loom symbol, so I think I play a loom myself here. I think it's important to yeah, have access to a loom. The priority this age, I think, is military. Ooh, I do love me a Caravanserai. I love military here, though, too. But the Caravanserai is all the resource cards I'll ever need this game. It's so much flexibility. It's like $1 a round at least. It means this is a bit less good. I might just have enough money I don't need it. But generally, I think Caravanserai is very strong. I think I take it. I think it is worth it. I'm a little concerned about not taking the military cards while I can, but I should take a military card. The forum does give me access to a glass, which I currently don't have access to, but I'm going to hope my opponents pay or pass a glass card. I might have to play one, but the walls here is a good play. Yeah, military, military, and then I can play another military card here. This largely locks up the military battles for a while in my favor, so I'm going to do it. There is one more military card still getting passed around, but I'll just bury it if it comes to me. Giza's starting to bury. Hopefully people are burying the science. Here I do just play the glassworks. I kind of hate having to play it, but I might hate even more not having access to it later. My economy is set up so that I can build my wonder whenever I want, and it's set up so I can play every card now at age 3, so hopefully I just get really strong cards at age 3. Even if I don't, I'm also gonna have great military battles. This like my military is perfect. Like I just bury this military card. Yeah, that's true. The annoying thing here is yellow is making it very good for like Hallie has built only a single red card, and yellow is just letting them beat them up. That is annoying. But I think we're blocking enough of the science cards that things are okay. Wow, these cards suck for me. I don't care. I think I just build my wonder stage here and hope that all of age 3 I get good cards. Uh, Hallie can eventually search the discards, and the forum is useless to them, so I guess I stash this. But I like while the player here is complaining about Hallie getting easy military wins, and that is annoying. I don't think Hallie is doing particularly well here. The mass science isn't working. Their economy is weak. They don't have that much money. I don't really think they're winning here. They do at least find another science card, which is helpful. We've largely stashed the gears away from them, so that helps. But we'll see how it goes. I like my position as long as I find some good points here. This opening hand, just playing the 7-point Decorators Guild, is probably the best option. Hopefully on the wheel I get like a 6-point or even 5-point card, or just another military is okay. Both of the cogs are the same hand. This hand on the whole sucks, so I'm going to be a little bit sad about seeing this hand last because I don't care about all these science cards, and it's likely that the last 2 cards are going to be science. But I'll just play the military card here. I could play this card, but I think just discouraging my opponent from trying to beat me on military is probably good, although it might discourage yellow from playing military cards, and I do agree yellow should play at least a military to counteract their neighbor. But I mean, I'm at 30 points and I have the military lead. That feels good. This player just sold a card. That's always painful. Here's a Builders Guild. That's already worth 8 points and could be worth 10. So that, I don't care that it cost me some money. 10-point card is incredible here. I'm taking the cheapest cost. $3. They do play a little military here. That's great. This hand, I do get just a 6-point card back, or the Shipowner Guild is actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I just take a Shipowners Guild. That looks great. Yeah, this game's going very well. I get past a 6 point card here. That's great. The Workers Guild is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Adds to my ship order, so it's 6. I'll just take the 6 pointer this way. It does look like my final card is going to be the 2 science cards, though, as I expected. Oh no, my opponent played a science card and is blocking Hallie from getting another gear. So Hallie's only getting 1 gear this game, so the heavy science game has definitely been blocked. One of the easiest ways to block science players and 4 players to block their gears, because there's only 4 gears. Uh, there's only one, and then one, like each gear is unique, whereas there are doubled up tablets. And some doubled up compasses. So blocking gears is by far the best. And here's at least a tolerable 5 point card for me, which is really lucky that my opponent blocked the gear. This is such an easy win for me. This is like a 60+ point game. So this one just went very smoothly. Getting Ephesus with the split resource, setting up strong economy, and then just locking down military in age 2. This is how you win 4-player games. Barry had a tough game here. Neither, like, much like I had last game, like, I had no interest in paying Barry for any of his resources, and his economy, the way he set it up, it's just pretty bad. He doesn't have the right resource cards, he doesn't have the right distributions. It is a pretty big disaster game. Wow, Hallie did find science card. Well, actually, maybe I might have spoke too soon. Hallie might still win this game because he did wind up winning the military battle and he got the scientist guild, which is huge. Yeah, dang it, he did still win. Hallie was too strong. I had a great game, 66, but Hallie getting the Scientist Guild was too much. I forgot that was still in there. Well, that's unfortunate because I don't. Hallie probably should have won this then. Like, getting the easy military wins is really. Yeah, yellow should have played more military, but whatever, it happens. A lot of these games thus far, basically, we're learning the lesson: efficient military still wins, right? I mean, that's the lesson of Seven Wonders, in my opinion. Like, efficient military wins, and the whole crux of the game is figuring out what's efficient military versus what's paid too much for military. Uh, and it's figured out how to play against the science players. We did a really good job of smashing their gears, but I forgot that there was a scientist guild in play. So that was unfortunate, but oh well. Not a great run for me yet. First, a second, and then well, it was a 4th place. This tournament does have 5 plays, so I might have got 2 points from last round. I'm not sure. We'll look at the standings. Thus far, 3 games and 20 points means you have what, an 8, first, second. Doesn't look like anybody's actually managed to run the table. I'm doing pretty well. Oh, there's not that many people with. There's very few people with only with 3 games already, huh? Or no, there are quite a few. Okay, I am doing actually pretty well. I mean, there's a lot of people in this 16 through whatever range, and there's quite a few people still playing their second game, so it'll get uglier. We're left with only 137 players left in the tournament. All these players have dropped out. But still 137 players. Oh, it looks like this player must... Or no, there's a tie. Oh, wait, I see. No, ties are... Oh, ties are weird on BGA. Okay, so there's slightly more than 137 players. It's probably like 140 to 145 players right now. It's a lot of people playing, though. But yeah, that means I'm doing pretty well here, though. A first, a second, and a 4th. I'm still at pretty strong tables, it looks like, then. How are the other people I know? Where's Lumen at? I would assume Lumen won his first game, right? So he's probably up here somewhere. Or no, Patrick's doing okay. Good for him. Oh, I actually recognize OG Russ Hood. He's another WBC guy. Monsoon X is also a WBC guy. I must have just missed Lumen's name somewhere. Oh wait, Lumen's way up here, duh. Well, good for Lumen. Lumen does only have 2 more points than me after 3 games, so I mean that's easily like eventually overcomable. It's definitely nice edge, but Seven Wonders is a bit fluky, and we are still playing a lot of these games with kind of iffy players, in my opinion. Of making well, and whatever. Second game, I did make some tough choices. The distribution didn't really work out. That game, the distribution of the cards was pretty dreamy for me, and then I still slightly messed it up. Although I'm not sure I could have won that one. Hallie might have just got away with too much. But yeah, we'll see. The next game you would think is starting fairly soon, but we'll see how fast the rounds keep going. Lumen's also still playing poker simultaneously, I think, which is also very impressive. All right, here's some people. Okay, yeah, we're rapidly falling down the leaderboard as the game's finished, which makes a lot of sense to me. I didn't think 16 points would stay too high up, but I mean we're not getting pushed that far down either. There are a lot of players elsewhere, but we're a little more middling here. Somebody did get 3 wins thus far, which makes sense actually. Somebody has to have 3 wins thus far, I think, right? Like if you have 125 players playing 5-player games, I guess nobody has to have 3 wins, right? Or you because you get 25 winners in round one, and then no, you still have 5 double winners. So you have to. There's a table of all double winners. So somebody had to be a triple winner. But there's a lot of tournament left for me to throw away everything or to get better. I really don't know how much we're going to keep having 5-player tables or 4-player tables. I was pretty happy with 4-player. It looks like there was a lot of 5-player games last. Oh, yeah. Okay, it's mostly 5-player games. I just wound up in one of the 4 players, as did Lumen. I wish it was a 4-player tournament all the way through, though. I definitely know 4-player better. Okay, there's a lot of 4-player tables, though, actually. Huh. I wonder what their algorithm is. How do they wind up with some 3-player tables still, too? That's interesting. Don't know how that works. Don't have to know how it works. Got some slow games this round. Confused how there's some still going on. Yeah, this one looks really slow. I guess they're at age 3 and they don't have a ton of time left. They had somebody not actually join the game, which always slows things down. So, but means I got a few minutes again. But whatever, it's fine. See how it goes. Um, yeah. So I guess the main lessons I've learned thus far is you could try side spam strategies, and it appears that at weaker tables it might work. And you definitely can get away with some really cheap military wins against some of these players. Some of these players just do not contest military at all, which I should stop seeing. Like, it should get to a point where I see less and less of those players in the future rounds because, like, you're just not a good Seven Wonders player if you consistently ignore military. It's too efficient of points. Sorry, I got distracted by reading Discord there, which happens. Also, because nothing's happening here. Please finish your games, everybody. This is the worst part about these BGA tournaments is you gotta wait for the slowest table every round. Like, everybody is just waiting on this one table. Nobody's actually gone over their time, though, so they just will very soon. But they are slow players, which happens, whatever. You're allowed to use your time. I enjoy Seven Wonders. I'm not totally convinced about 8 rounds of Seven Wonders. I signed up for it though, so I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna drop, but it's a lot. Hey, popping back into chat quick. Was my desktop baby Loki? Lumen is 5th. Go Lumen. Lumen was temporarily 5th. Go Lumen indeed. I think Lumen's a better Seven Wonder players than I am. Yeah, anyhow, as for my desktop background, indeed, it is baby Loki. You're seeing part of it there. I'm going to temporarily switch scenes so we can see the whole thing, and we might come to regret that because my mic might get weird. I'm not sure. Nope. Okay, my mic's fine. So yeah, we got. This is baby Loki. This is Loki when he was just a couple months. Not quite sure. I got him as a puppy, and then this picture would have been a couple weeks after I got him. So he's probably 3 months old. He's a tiny little guy. A cutie though. I mean, he's still cute now, but puppies have that certain special cuteness. So anyhow, though, yeah, that is my desktop background. All right, we'll switch back to the usual scene here and bring back up the tournaments. They finished. That means my game should be launched. It is. Let's go. Back into a 5-player. We got a really strong player at the table. We're back to Alexandria because apparently we're going to grab that wonder a lot today. So we learned a slight trap in the last game. Alexandria on this side is a bit rough. Alexandria on this side, you get a big boost because you complete this stage. The thing is, I hate quad wood, but I think I'm gonna go on this side here because my neighbors are brick and ore. It should be relatively easy to get these stages at least. I might never get the final stage is the rough part, but no split resource to start. It's always a bit of a bummer. I could go a little sciencey to start, but I don't. Why am I only seeing? Oh, there's 5 boards. Sorry, I saw temporarily saw 3. We have a Hallie in the game is the strong player, so there's a decent chance they're gonna go for heavy science. But there's only one workshop I can maybe get it on the wheel. It's gonna come all the way around potentially. I think I'm just gonna play the clay here because it gives me a good option to just build another clay early. Or I'm just gonna get another split card. Interesting. Well, that's less good after what I just got, but I think it's still worth it. Is my instincts. Those cards are usually good, but it's a little sad because now I'm just kind of overproducing brick. This opening play is gonna not turn out great, but ooh, and we get another split card. Well, that's big. I'm just playing that right away. Helps a lot. My neighbor's also buying off of me. You love to see this. You love to see my neighbor's gonna buy off me, and I am gonna offer my neighbor some great stuff here. I have great splits for my neighbor, and my neighbor plays a wood. This is great. I now actually already have access to 4 wood. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 wood. Love, love, love all of that. My opponent is playing heavy science and it's working. Nobody else at the table is blocking it. So that's a bit of an issue, but I can't do much about it here. All these cards kind of suck. I don't know what one's better. Currently, my neighbor doesn't have much access to this stone that he wants, so I guess I'll bury this stone, but... Probably play a military card here, but it doesn't look like I'm going to get great military edge this game, but I just don't need these resources. Whoops, I should hide the stream chat again. looking at it still. Uh, my opponent has pulled off the trifecta and has 7 coins. This looks pretty dominant. Neither of his neighbors have played military yet either, so that looks like trouble long term. I'm just going to play a 3-point card here. It's possible selling it for money is better, but I keep expecting my opponent to actually pay me. Don't know why, because he's not. Given my opponent's likely to go some military, I don't think military is a great path for me this game, and yet don't really know what is a great path for me this game. But I can't play most of this opening hand, but the Caravanassery gives me like incredible amounts of resource flexibility, so I'm just going to go for it. It should mean that I basically don't need much money all game for anything, so that's something at least. I think it's too late for me to worry about science. It could be worth it for me to worry about money. That's a 8 money card, which gives me nice flexibility, but it's possible just spamming out 5 points. Nah, I'm gonna go for the money. Gonna play it safer. Gonna make sure I can buy critical cards when I want to. I haven't seen much military yet, so it's possible it's all in one hand, or it's possible I should start playing military cards, because like I'm not passing my opponent military. We see a military there. I think playing this military card, it has to be correct. I don't need more resources. I could bury, but there's no real reason to bury here, so... I think this player is just getting a runaway science win. Apparently I should just start playing more science. These tables are not... It doesn't seem like these tables or these players are defending science much, and so it's... Well, it also helps that they're getting Hallie. Like, this is the perfect wonder to run heavy science with, though, because you can always filch cards out of the discard. So, like, it's really hard to block a player going heavy science, because they just pull them out of the discard anyhow. You have to bury them. I mean, really what you need is you need 2 players going science, and then often neither of them win, but it's hard to determine who's the next one supposed to do it. Here we see most of the other military cards get played. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 military cards already played, so there's only one more hiding out, and I don't know where it is. My opponent has no access to the paper, so I'm just gonna block that here. I personally also just don't need any of these cards, so I'm guessing that was a military card that just got stashed. Yeah. And all of these cards suck for me too, so I'm hoping that something good comes back out of my opening hand, but that's a really rough position to be in. I don't really know who to pay here. I don't think either of my neighbors are having a good game. I mean, I'm not even having a great game. Pay this guy. Can my neighbor build this stage? He has 1, 2, 3. So my neighbor can't even build his wonder, which that's good or bad. He gets the last military card. Well, that's unfortunate. I mean, I'm still beating this opponent at least, but yeah, I'm not even getting great military. This looks like big trouble. I think Hallie is just running away with this game, and then I'm not getting efficient military. I don't have much for victory points, and this last card might be garbage. We'll see what gets passed to me in a sec. I'm hoping that there's at least something playable, but I don't remember what's coming back, which I should be doing a better job at tracking, but I'm not, so... I am pulling a 4-point card here. That's pretty big. Getting to actually have something to play here is important. I have a nice economy, so I'm going to be able to play really good cards, but I'm not getting efficient military. I'm just getting all right military wins here, but this is like a fairly competitive military game. I think this player probably still just has too much here, but we'll see. It's not guaranteed, but it's pretty likely. All right. I have a 6-point arena, which is fine. This hand looks a little unfortunate because again, there's 3 science cards, and this is the hand that's going to come back to me. So unless Babylon is nice enough to play one of the science cards out of this hand, I'm probably going to be looking at 2 science cards at the end of the age, which is really unfortunate. That's why leaving your last wonder slot open can be nice, but Didn't have that flexibility this time, so arena for 6 is fine. Depending on how many military cards my neighbors play, the Spies Guild could be pretty good. How many arenas are there in 5-player? Is there just the one? No, there is a second arena. So because the arena is good for me, and because I'm expecting my opponents to play more military cards, I think this is Spies Guild. Yeah, and I already get one military card from my neighbor. I guess I'm gonna try not to play military this age. I think playing military this age is largely a losing battle for myself. Like, I'd have to potentially play 2 military cards to hope to win both battles, and at that point, it's really not that exciting to play military cards. Like, it's okay, but my opponent is not finding good things out of the discard, and they're running out of time, so that's upshot. The Philosopher's Guild is garbage here, but the Brown Guild is pretty good. It's a 7-point guild. We like that. But yeah, so this player is having some issues. They don't have great chains this age. Ooh, and they're playing military. This guy's also playing military, but yeah, so I'm gonna try to just stay out of the military battle. This is an 8-point guild. That's fantastic. The only downside is I think this guy just played 5, 4, 3. No, he's seeing my opening pack right now. He does play a science card out of my opening pack. The Builders Guild doesn't make it to me, but wow, Decorators Guild for 7. I could play the Palace here for 8, but I'm paying 2 coins for it, so I think just playing the 7-point Decorators Guild for free is better. I'm getting some really good guild points this age, which has me at a lot of points. Green is doing well too, but also is losing military battles currently. All right. The real question, though, am I about to get screwed here? I think the answer is yes, but we'll see. I'm waiting to see what this player plays. They play the arena, though, which makes sense. So I am going to wind up with 2. I'm going to wind up, wow, and I get all military cards here, but it's playing a military card is pointless. So never mind. I've had a good game, but it's all going to crash here. This hand is garbage for me. I can't score points on it. And the next hand I get is also going to be garbage. It's going to be 2 science cards. Unless my opponent is nice enough to bury a science card and pass me something better. But it looks like the end of the good luck is coming. These cards are all bad. Playing one is pointless. I'm going to lose both military battles. I'm not getting past a military card, so I just sell whatever one of these I want. The only way this matters is if my opponent wants to play another military card as his last card. So I should sell him whatever. I should sell whatever's easiest for him to play, which is this one. But yeah, this is not good. Okay, this guy is buried. Please let it be. Nah, I got past 2 science cards like I thought. Well, that sucks. This is a 1-point card. I could sell it. I can play it. May as well play it. Maybe it annoys this guy when he tries to find more cards, but this did not work out. It doesn't look like it worked out for Hallie necessarily either, though. Like, this guy did not wind up with a dominant game. Maybe I can still win this even though I'm taking 2 losses here, but probably not. The end game here was just too bad for me, I think. But this guy also just sold his last card. Maybe I win. Maybe it's a low-scoring enough game. Damn, I did almost win, but blue had just enough. 1 more point over me. The Hallie player really didn't wind up there, but yeah, okay, I still had a good game. I don't feel too bad about getting second at this table, with the fact that the only reason I lost that game is because the last 2 packs were complete trash for me. If the distribution is just slightly different, and I have anything playable in the last 2 hands, I win this game. So I don't really regret that. I mean, maybe there was a way to play around it, but I think that's a decent bit of just bad luck. I made good plays, and the packs just did not have the cards I wanted. I mean, it's partly because I put myself in a narrow position. I only could use like guilds or yellows or blues, but yeah, whatever. Again, a second place there is nice. Again, I wasn't really expecting to necessarily win the tournament, and I'm at a pretty good number of points overall. So, I mean, again, there's a lot of there's players that still only at 3 games. I'm at 22 over 4, which not fantastic, but Let's go peek at Lumen's game. See how he's doing. Lumen is playing Babylon, which is a tough wonder. He has some nice blues, a nice 8-point guild. He has a wimpy neighbor, which is a great sign for him. He has an okay number of points. They're almost done, though, which is probably a concern. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this goes for Lumen here. Let's pull up the chat again. How's it going? Nobody's saying anything, which makes sense. I'm not reading chat, so why chat anyhow? This is kind of the sort of table I'm like, this is what I expect more to see at 5-player tables. Like, somebody kind of goes science, another player kind of goes science, everybody kind of fights military. That's kind of how I think most high-level tables should be. I mean, this guy's playing no military, which looks like his neighbors probably are going to benefit disproportionately off of. Lumen plays an underwhelming card there. Not a great sign for Team Lumen. Does look like once again Hallie is just very. It looks like Hallie is pretty good in this 5-player format, just going for science. Maybe we do need more players playing science, but I guess last game like Hallie looked like he had a great start and just didn't translate to anything though either. People did block him, so against good enough players, maybe it's not too good. But this looks pretty good for Hallie again. Assuming they could get a little more science or that they could just play some more good cards. Think they can handle the fact they're not getting any military wins, but maybe not. We'll see. It's not clear to me how many more cards they have to go in this age. I could try to figure it out from the game log, but it looks like Lumen's played 1, 2, 3, 4 cards thus far, so they probably have 2 plays left in the last age. So this hand and one more probably. It does mean that I'm going to keep moving down the leaderboard here. 14th feels nice, but I'm guessing I'm really more like in the 30s as more and more games keep coming in. Yeah, already down to 23. A few more games, I'll be in the 30s. But there's not a lot of people left. So yeah, I guess I'm currently on the periphery of top 30, which I do think, right? I think the semifinals are. I think it cuts to. I'll have to go look at the rules again, but I think it does. I think they're planning to cut to top 25. So maybe I can make top 25, which would be fun. Let's go look at the rules again. All right, let's open this up and let's see what it says. Lumen did get a really good yellow card here, and then he's getting another card because of. Lumen's last card is garbage, though, and he just builds his wonder. Well, that's unfortunate. Lumen loses by a point. Good game. Hallie didn't win, so good stuff, though. Good stuff from Lumen and everyone. I'm guessing that means that might have been the last game or close to it. Nope, doesn't look like I have a new game yet. Let's look at the standings quick. Lumen's at 19. Good for him. I'm hanging out at 29th. Not bad. Still just 2 points behind Lumen, too. Not terrible. I'm 8 points behind the leader. Not great, but also not that bad. So through 4 rounds, doing pretty well. Okay. 8 rounds. Top players, as detailed in Section 3. Okay, Section 3. Section 2. Section 3. Blah, 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 blah. Advance to quarterfinals. We had 126 players, so there will be 25 quarterfinals. Wow, so we're playing at quarterfinals. Okay, so if you win your quarterfinal game, you for sure make the semifinals, and then the remaining top 10 players will also make it in on overall points. So it looks like I can make the quarterfinals. Making the semifinals probably takes some luck. That would be my guess. But making the quarterfinals is a good goal for me. But I am winding up at increasingly strong tables. This table is very good. So see how it goes. Hey, I get to play the Hallie Kernausis game. So I could be the science fool, although I'm sitting right after Babylon, which also sometimes likes to play Science-y just because of their wonder. But I think B-side looks clearly better still. Being able to filch a lot is pretty strong, although I guess one of the difficulties here is that this last stage is definitely a little onerous of a cost if you don't have a good enough economy. So my general feeling in Seven Wonders is that I prefer to play decently economic, and then I can play almost any card I want, and that flexibility is nice. I don't usually like to play too heavy of science because you kind of rely on your opponents not being very good and passing you enough cards. And based on the last couple games I've watched, it doesn't act. Even though it looks strong early, it doesn't look like the super heavy science games are winning. So I am not sure I'm gonna play here or not. Um, so yeah, I mean, this opening hand doesn't even give me much options. If I was playing heavy science, I could debate playing some other gray cards just to open up other plays. But here, I'm just taking the best card. If I can get a buyer pointed at Giza, I also really like that. A lot of Giza players will play a lot of resources, especially on B side. So a buyer that way would be nice. Oof, I got some more split cards though, which I like. Although here's the buyer. So I might point the buyer at Giza rather than play either of these. I like both of these, but these aren't necessarily the greatest split cards for me. Like getting a brick is nice, but then I have 2 stone I don't really need. Getting another wood is nice, but I don't know if I need it as much as I think long term this buyer pointed at Giza is going to be great. Giza's going to play some more resources for me. I think this is what I'm going to do. Really not having a chance to play a science-heavy game here. 5 coins and just point things at Giza might still be the best. Playing a single ore is pretty good otherwise. It looks like I am playing more of just kind of generic economy here and then see how it goes. 5 coins is great flexibility. The 2 ore is probably just better long term, but hard to say. Little surprised Giza went with this split card because they need a lot of stone and a lot of ore, and they had the other split card available to them. Oh, hey, another 5 coin or another 5 coin card exists. Playing the Glassworks is fine, but I'm not going to get the workshop anyhow. I'm really tempted to just take 5 coins here. Although I already got 2 more coins paid my way because Babylon is the science player this time around. I'll throw a glass down them. I don't know what else I'm going to get a glass. Really like to play a military card now, I think. I have to pay $1 for this one, but the way the military is split in, it looks like Babylon might be one of those players that's like not going to play much military. So I think securing a military is worth a coin. Giza's going to buy right back from me. I'm a huge fan of that. Let's set up that friendly thing. And then, yeah, I'm just going to play a baths. This means I'm not playing very sciencey with Hallie, but I don't think Hallie Chronosis has to play science. I think I could just... I'm getting paid a lot from my neighbors here. That seems great. Got plenty of money. I got a good economy set up. I get a Caravanassery here, which honestly is like all the economy I'm ever going to need to play. It's actually pretty perfect. Yeah, I think this is great. This gives me all the flexibility in the world. Patrick also found the other Caravanassery, so we both have Caravanasseries and we all both have buyers paid on each other. It likely means the rest of the table has some economic woes a little bit, probably, but we'll see. Here I just play military. Kind of wish I was seeing this hand again, but I guess the great part about Halicarnassus is it doesn't matter if I see the hand again. I can just build out of it at the end of the round. Uh, wow. Okay, so this is unfortunate. I don't want any of these cards. I guess I block the science player here. The school is usually the strongest thing to block, but this is free, so I probably just build a library. I think there's only one library. Yeah, so it at least blocks the library from them. I don't love that. Really want to play a military card or a blue card, but it's not an option. Playing more stuff into my economy just feels wrong here. I don't think it's important to me. So yeah, I think I just play this. The military is really getting split around the table, which is okay. Again, that's what I would expect at a high level table. But like, if Patrick has a military card, I'd expect him to play it, which is unfortunate. These cards all kind of suck for me again. I could try to search what's in the discards, but I don't trust the discards to have much worth searching yet. So I might just play a four coin card. Ugh, this is so rough. My opponents are not like these hands are full of economic stuff, which is kind of understandable. Nobody super needs them, but ugh, ugh, ugh. Do not love. Do not love. Yeah, Patrick is playing the military. Wherever the last military card is, it's very strong. There's one more in this age. I'm guessing it got like buried or something, but it's very good. Looks like I'm just going for a single set of science at this point. I don't love doing that because it's essentially like 3 1/3 point per cards, but shitty game by me is what Black Mesca says. I mean, Black thinks he's last. I mean, nobody's super. Like, the fact this player's going no military might be the only real stretch, but awful wonder and awful position. That's not an awful wonder. Uh, anyhow, I think I do just play this here. They did. Wow, Patrick actually did get the other military card. That's so strong here. That's so nice for him. I still have the wonder to just filch, but I have a 4 point card. I don't expect to find a better than 4 point card. I would totally love to find a military card, but it doesn't exist. There's no 5 point card, so yeah, I'm just gonna play the 4 point card here, and then I'll filch stuff later. Even Olympia is better than Alexandria. I mean, whatever. Black Meshka can say what he wants. I've had some good games with Alexandria already this time. I don't even think he's in that bad of a position here. The real big issue is the military is breaking pretty crappily for Black Meshka. That is the biggest issue. But the big issue is he passed this card. Like, why did he pass the walls? Don't pass the walls. But whatever. Here I have lots of okay options. This is a 5 point guild. This is a 6 point card. This guild might get better as my neighbors play more yellows. I do eventually want to play a gear here, but I'm expecting to be able to maybe. Well, gears are the hardest thing to find. So it's possible I'm supposed to play a gear pretty early, but I'm hoping I can filch one. Who had the opening glassworks? Did it get buried or is it in the discards? That would be great info to have if I was tracking. But gear is getting played right off the bat. It's unfortunate. 7 point card, but it's expensive. Could fight military a little, don't care that bad. The lighthouse is okay for me. It's very good for Patrick. This game looks pretty close still. I think I just take the lighthouse here. Paying for the Pantheon is painful. Six-point Town Hall is fine. The Scientist Guild is also totally fine. It solves my gear issue, but I think I'm hoping to get lucky that there's going to be a gear somewhere. Hoping to get lucky is, not really how you're supposed to play this game, probably, but I think I need a little luck here. My game's not bad, but my game's not great, mostly because the stage 2 was really unfortunate. I wasn't getting past cards I wanted. I had to play these dumb science cards I didn't really want. Um, my economy was set up really nice, and my economy is still really nice, but I had to play really crummy cards. I played a Bazaar and 2 science cards in H2. Like, that was an awful H2. Wow, my opponent really does want a gear, and he doesn't need a gear because he's Babylon. Yeah, that's a concern. 47 already looks strong. Palace, don't really care about. Arenas are trash, though. Don't know about the Arsenal. I could start burying and hoping there's good cards to find, because I can build all my Wonder Stages. Just paying for the Pantheon isn't that big of a deal. I mean, it's 3 coins for an 8-point card. It's probably what I'm supposed to do. I'm just going to do that. A little bit of military for my neighbor. It's kind of a wake-up call that I need to go some military. I think this is where I start burying. Patrick's going to have the option to play either of these, right? Or can Patrick... No, Patrick can play the Siege Workshop. Can Patrick play the Arsenal? He can. So it doesn't really matter. I guess I'd rather guarantee that they're in the discard for next round, and I don't care about this. So we'll bury the Wonder here and see what we get. There's no gear. Wow. Well, the discards are so trash. Holy shit, are they awful? There's a 3-point card, but yikes. There was no military card there, no gear there. Here's a gear. It's probably what I'm supposed to play, but yikes. It means I'm going to lose the military battle. Nah, okay, no point in playing the gear yet, right? Play the Wonder. See if I want to play the gear, or neither of my neighbors plays military here, so playing military is correct. But it means that these science was also like largely wasted. Oh wait, he can play military because he can play 2 cards. Well, that's a whole quagmire then. So playing military gets me a win. I've just lost this game. Yeah, this is not broken quite right. I think I have to play the gear. The gear is 8 points. I'm currently -2 on military. If I play the military card, it's a tie and a win. Tie and a win is 5 points instead of -2. So it's a 7-point card for me. It denies 5 points from this player, and it denies points from Patrick. So am I playing against those two? This guy's already won the game because he's won this military battle. Am I beating Patrick? What was Patrick's last play? Patrick completed his Wonder. I think I'm supposed to war, but this is close. The gear is pretty good, but I tie Patrick. Wow, I tie Patrick for last. Ugh, what a close game. I don't feel too bad about that one. H2 went, okay, I do beat Patrick because of that decision. It was probably correct then. That doesn't help my quarterfinals goal much here, though. That was not great. Yeah, I just needed the cards to break a bit different. Maybe I'm supposed to play that's entirely different. That's whatever. It's also just Seven Wonders. It's just how it goes. Yeah. Also, yeah, Black Meska with his terrible game, he still finished second with that wonder. So yeah, I think he's okay. But I think I did a miracle. All right, whatever. I don't agree with his opinion of the wonder rankings there, but Lumen got another win. Good for him. He's playing very well. I am playing less well and or luck. I don't totally know. I really am not that strong of a Seven Wonders. Or I'm a fine Seven Wonders player, but I don't know this edition as well. And it's definitely possible I should be doing slightly different things. Um, really don't know for sure how to Seven Wonders at an elite level. So looks like there's still a couple players playing four player or playing a game. Actually, there's quite a few games still going. So yeah, that's gonna slide me down the ranks a lot here. That fourth is painful, but I guess it'll get me some easier games. But yeah, we'll see. Uh, it's not gonna help there. All right. Do. Guess I have some async turns I could go take. This looks like a St. Petersburg game I'm chewing off more than I can handle. And I really just need to be able to play this judge at the very worst. So I actually just play the judge now because I need to clear a hand slot. Yeah. And oh, I didn't want to stream Great Western Trail yet, but here you guys go. Here's a sneak peek of a Great Western game. Ooh, why am I stopping here? No idea what I'm doing. Hey, my next game started. Okay. Still winding up on a good table, but now it's a lot more mixed. Hypothetically, I'm the best player at this table. We have Hallie again. This time we're right next to some other sciencey wonders, but it's a little easier to go science because I can spam out some of this stuff. But we'll see if I want to spam science. I'm pretty content with. I think I'm pretty content with my decisions again last game. It's just apparently at age 2 I chose to set up my economy, and maybe it was more important to secure the military cards. Right, military is so important, but. Here I can just start with a science. I don't love science spam strats, but I also just don't care about any of these cards, so I don't see a good reason not to spam this out and at least give myself some option of playing at least a little sciencey. Uh, Gotta start actually picking up a few wins if we hope to make quarterfinals or semifinals. So it is possible we should just try to science spam here and hope that we get lucky with it, because we might just kind of need. Everybody else played the split resources, makes a lot of sense. I do get past the workshop here. I'm just gonna play it. What the heck? Let's go for it. There are 2 scriptatoriums in the deck, so like there's a decent chance that I get one of them or my opponent's like thrown into the discard anyhow. I should try to track where the scriptatorium winds up though, just because that is a good thing to do. So there's a scriptatorium in this guy's hand right now. That's interesting to track where it goes. Just taking the money here is good. Taking the brick is also good, but I think the money is important long term. My economy is definitely weak playing like this. Is somebody pointing a buyer at me? No, okay, again, I always have the buyers backed up. This guy has both buyers pointed at him. Yeah, both of the buyers are pointed at Olympia, so that's nice for Olympia. People are going to buy off him a lot. There's still a scriptatorium passing around in this hand. Here I almost certainly just need to play the press and hope the other scriptatorium comes to me this age. I certainly don't need these other cards. I mean, I'm not going to be able to play early military here with what I'm doing, but that's okay. There's still a scriptatorium in this hand, and now it's over here. This hand is mostly garbage. I could just play a 3-point card. I could try to go slightly economic, but I think I'm done with, like, I think I'm not playing economy, right? And then in the future, this unlocks a 7-point Pantheon build for free. So I think the chaining here is fine too. If I could just build a free Pantheon in age 3, I think that's probably just better than an ore that I don't know what I'm going to do with. I'm trying to chain cards. The scriptatorium is no longer in this hand, and the other scriptatorium just got buried. So that part is unfortunate. My opponents are blocking my science. Olympia paid a coin for that just so that I didn't get it, which is totally fine. It's a fair play. And it's probably the right play. Otherwise, I probably run away with the game. But a little bit of a bummer because I was hoping my opponents were just going to let me run away with the game. But it's not the end of the world. Not to be able to build the library here is probably a mistake. I could try to join the military game suddenly, but I think just taking the lab, and I think that's what you got to do when you're playing this sort of game. You got to just go for what you're going for. I know that there's no scriptatorium in the discard pile. I really need the library this age, the school, right? Yeah, the school chains to other science cards. I would like the library to come back around to me. Selling the library, but I do get the school, so that's pretty big. The school is very important here. I think I'd rather pay this neighbor. I think there's a better chance that he'll pay me in return. Not a great chance he's gonna pay me, but like this guy has like very low chance he's gonna pay me. His resources are great. He has a buyer pointed somewhere else, so I'd rather pay the guy that's slightly more likely to provide me money. But my money is gonna be an issue long term. I don't expect to get many coins from my neighbors, which is gonna be probably tough. Here, I can play the double wood just to make it easier to play this down the road. None of my neighbors have played a brick, though, I just realized. So, actually, I probably need to play this stupid brickyard, but oof, that is dumb. I missed the fact that both of the brick splits and the brick starting thing are not next to me. I maybe shouldn't have played the single brick because I think I'm forced to play double brick here, which is pretty dumb. All these cards are pretty trash. 6 coins might just be the best play for me. There is another dispensary, but I don't know where it is. The other tablet just got played by this guy, so I'm getting hardcore blocked on heavy science. So I'm not gonna win this round. The table's playing anti-science enough. I don't think this guy's actually very good. We'll see. I don't think him playing these tablets is actually gonna pay off for him. Here's the second lab that does me nothing. I can try to filch a card out, but I don't expect there to be good cards. But I don't see what else I'm doing. But yeah, this is not good. This is not good, team. Whatever. Again, I've complained about people that allow people to just get away with easy science, and this guy is at least trying to prevent easy science, but I'm not convinced he's set up. Maybe he's set up well enough though. He whatever. He got 4 points off these, and he could get to 9. I don't know what else he's supposed to do, I guess. So I gotta hope for a scientist guild or something. Like maybe there's hope. Somebody trashed a dispensary, but there it is. So that's a good find at least. Somebody sold that. That's welcome. And then here a 4 point temple is pretty expensive, so I think I just bury again. Yeah, I think I just bury again here, but it's a little sad to only have one filch left after this. But I said I'd rather pay green. Green has a better chance of paying me, but we'll see. Both double woods just got played. I was kind of hoping to find a double wood as the worst case, but I guess my worst case now is to find a 4 point card. Military, it looks like I've basically lost. I mean, I could pull a 2 military card here just to tie with this player, but I'm going to be the chump that's trying to just power through military, I think. But it doesn't look promising here. Doesn't look super promising. But, you know, if the distribution works out well, this game could still turn in my favor. If the right science cards come at the right times here, I could wind up with a pretty good science game, especially if there's a scientist guild. Although I don't know what it costs anymore. It costs 2 wood, 2 ore. Well, I can't afford that. This is a 6 coin university, which is super painful. And yet I really need a tablet. But there's 2 tablets this age, so I guess we just hope another one shows up, but it's a bit bold. I'm just gonna take the free cards though. I do get paid here. That's welcome. I love getting paid. There's another 6 coin university and there's a free academy. Just gonna take the free cards. 6 coins for university is steep. These are at least 5 point plays. I mean, maybe I'll regret not playing the universities. I could get blocked on them, but I'm gonna hope that there's a university to filch at the end or something, I guess. Um, this Traders Guild probably turns out decently for me long run. A free siege workshop is an option here. Neither of my neighbors are going that military, so I could try to commit to 2 military cards. But I don't think I want to commit to 2 military cards, so I think I just take what's likely a 5 or 6 point guild by the end of this stage. And I just keep paying Barry, because I think Barry's more likely to pay me. We just take a free 7 point card for sure. That's all our game is. There is a bit of burying happening. I'm guessing it's science cards because that's really what this table does seem to have made sure they're not going to lose to science probably, but we'll see. Here's more science cards. I mean, this is a very lopsided science game, but as long as there's a tablet in the discard at the end here, I probably do still win. If there's not a tablet in the discard, maybe still win. I mean, this isn't great, but 16 and 16, 32, 33, 40 points of science with a couple other points and then one more card coming in could work. There is a tablet. There's hypothetically one more tablet, but they might have all got buried. I really don't know. Uh, Military is a pointless venture for me, so I bury this and I hope that there's something good in the discard. At this point, we should pay attention to who actually needs help. This player has 2 military wins coming. This guy has possibly only one. Barry has more points, but isn't winning a military. I think I'll go 4 and 2. I'm really not sure the right split there. Come on, tablet. Tablet might mean we win. Without a tablet, who knows? But come on, the other tablet. Ah, damn it. There's no tablet in here. There's a 5 point card at least, but my opponents did stash all the tablets. They played pretty well anti-science. Still not totally convinced that Trey Wynn's anti-science has paid off for him, though. Think he might have just fallen on the sword to make sure I didn't win, but maybe I still win too. Nobody has incredible points. I mean, I got 2 negatives coming though. Maybe it's still a win though, actually. Yeah, after all that. Okay, yeah, it was still a win. Pretty clean win, actually. Never mind. So, whatever. They tried to slow me down and it didn't matter. Heavy science still works. That was funky game. That one was weird to me. 56 is not always winning, but I guess other people didn't wind up with that efficient a military, although that doesn't even look like the main problem here necessarily. I guess nobody got huge guilds. I mean, a 9 point and a 7 point guild. I'm a little confused at that one actually. That one doesn't fully track with what I'm used to. But hey, that's a big win that I needed. And by needed, I mean again, I don't know where I'm actually trying to wind up here, but whatever, we'll see. It's been fun still. Let's see what the chat might be. Good luck from AJ. Thanks, man. I needed luck there, I thought, and apparently I got just enough luck. Just that worked. All right. All right. Well, where are things at? Lumen is still. I mean, I'm a game ahead now. And so I tied Lumen after that game, but Lumen still has a game here. But cool to see me back up in 7th currently, but the problem is there's a lot of tables still to play here. So I'm going to fall quite a bit back down, but that helped a lot. Again, I'm going to wind up back at stronger, like, I'm going to wind up back at stronger tables here in a sec, though, so. Lumens, oh, that was round 5. How do I see round 6? Do I just have to extend my screen more and you guys can't see it? Or does round 6 come way down at the bottom? Oh, here's a scroll. That's annoying. Okay. It's just a big tournament. Alright, round 6. Lumen's game should be near the top. Lumen's in game 1 this time. Cool. Let's go check it out. I think I just saw Lumen's chat say, "Please play fast." Oh yeah, this guy is overtime. Like you're not allowed to go over. Like abusing the clock is really like crummy. So hopefully he doesn't, because like time is a resource. Exactly, time is a resource. I would boot. Like I would totally boot this guy. Like it's really sad, but I would boot the guy. Time is absolutely a resource. You guys are only at age 2. Like you're not allowed to think that much. Like it's just not. It's not okay. So like I would not feel shame in booting this guy. Okay, he is saying sorry at least, which is good. But yeah, I mean they're just starting age 3. The other problem is like you slow the whole tournament down. Like you need to play within the time limit you're given. Luckily, the tournament is going a little faster than I thought. I guess it's about the right pace. It's about 20 minutes a game, so got 2 more games to play, and then based on my current rating, I probably am in the quarterfinals. And then there's potentially semifinals and finals. That's a lot of 7 wonders, but I don't expect to actually make the finals. But I guess who knows? It's not like impossible, right? I could play well enough. It seems not likely to happen, but it does look like he's picked up his pace, which is nice. So, anyhow, how is Lumen actually doing? Lumen's playing Giza, has a lot of open slots, is playing quasi science. There's some science here, some science here. Lumen is picking up some free military wins against a chump. I refer to chump as guys that play zero military, although I just won with zero military, so maybe I shouldn't be that strong. But usually, the only way that you can win while playing no military is you gotta be playing heavy science. This guy has played like all the age 1 point cards. That's a really interesting strategy. I'm not convinced it's working for them. But yeah, Lumen looks like he's in a rough spot here. Like, he has a ton of openings on Giza. He could start playing some of the cards, I guess. Doesn't look good for Lumen, though. But I guess who does this game look good for? Like, this guy's winning military and has some science, but it's kind of ugly. This guy has military over Lumen and some blues. This looks okay. This is 2 sets of science and some other things and military. Okay, I'm gonna guess Hallie's winning this game. Yeah, okay, based on points, everybody's in this game actually except Green. Green's really in trouble. I guess Gray doesn't look very good when you got two military losses coming in currently as Gray. Lumen doesn't, I guess, look good either, which is what I thought. Lumen looks a little outclassed here. Looks like it's a tough game though for Lumen. Wow, yeah, somebody's actually trying to boot him, like, which is fair. Like, I mean, you're supposed to make your turns fast enough, but he did make his turn fast enough. But you really, really, yeah, time is a resource. You're not supposed to go over, but he's not that far over. So like, but yeah, Lumen had to play. He played another science card there rather than his wonder. Can he just not? Oh, he can't build his wonder. Yeah, that's an unfortunate ending. Picking up free military wins is great. Interesting that we're in round 6 of the tournament and he didn't realize that, but oh well. Yeah, Lumen takes a rough 4th there, so that's unfortunate. This guy, oh, okay. I was gonna say, how is this guy at a 452? But it's because they have a really low K factor, but they're beating up. They are winning against good tables, so it's wild. They are the top rated player in this tournament, though. Dang, right? 40, the max points is 48 and they have 44. Skies that we were just watching also is really high up there. It's pretty impressive stuff. Lumen's up here at a 34 and I'm up here at 32, but there are a lot of people in this 36 through 30 range. So a lot of good players and a couple that are great slash winning. I mean, God, it's always a little trick on what's what. I'm a little surprised that wasn't the last game. Looks like we're still waiting on a game or two. This break between rounds feels a bit long, but there can't be much left. Looks like there are none left. Okay, there must be one left. Must have missed it. Finished, finished, finished. These all say finished. Why is there this arrow? Am I not looking at the most? No, they're all finished. This one's blue finish. Oh, that's my finish. Ah, in progress. Here it was. I did miss it. Oh, except it must have just finished because there's the actual launched. Looks like I'm back at a strong table. Back with Caddy C or KDC or whoever. I don't know. We got Sammy D. Got some players. Got some strong players. We'll see if we can sneak another win or not. Am I reading chat now? It's still on delay. Yeah, everything's on delay. Sorry. Good luck. Thanks, Al. Luminous 5th? Yeah. That's a while back. Yeah, neat. Go team. Yeah. I read chat in between, but yes, I'm still on a 3-minute delay, so it's a little funky. Whatever I'm saying, you're hearing in the. I don't see your chat until 3 minutes in the future, or 5 minutes. I can't remember what I have it set to. It's something. We have Halocronosis again. Gonna play it again. Don't really see an alternative. I'm not convinced I have to go heavy science, but that did work. But the part of the reason that worked is because I was able to just slam the. I had access to the early class, which is nice. Here, I think I do just slam the apothecary again, though. If there was a split resource, I would consider it. But without the split resource visible, I think I just slam an apothecary. Everybody else is mostly playing split resources. This looks like a bit of a science gambit, but I already took the apothecary, so that's okay. This hand is largely garbage, but pointing a buyer at Giza usually works out. So yeah, I'm going to do that. Giza probably is going to play pretty resource heavy. Pointing a buyer their way should help out. Yeah, they're getting lots of splits. Caddy is taking the other science card, so I don't really want to go heavy science this game. I don't think it's going to pay off well. But I don't really know what to do. I don't really want to pay for a Scriptatorium. 2 coins for a Scriptatorium's not really what I'm into. So I think I'm just playing a single Orvid here at least. For long term, I'm going to play some economy. Giza's playing a ton of resources for me at least. I think I play one of my own wood cards. Playing 1 wood here also guarantees I can build this by the end of the game because there's a wood, and then my own wood. So I think I'm just going to play some resources. We start to see some military getting played. I wanted to play military, but it keeps costing me a coin, but it might be worth a coin here now. The other option is to just play a clay pit. It's pretty mediocre, but it's alright here. I want 1 clay eventually, and there's really not much else going here for me. Oh, well, wait, there's 2 apothecaries in 5-player? Whoops. Okay, I forgot that. Or I don't play enough 5-player. Well, okay. I do like Katie's position a bit more then, too. I think I'll pay a coin for a guard tower. Got another military there, so I slightly regret my military now, but... Or I can play another military, right? I played double military as well. Keep it up, or I could play the Scriptatorium. I'll play the military. The Scriptatorium will be in the discard pile, so I know that I have access to a tablet in the discard pile if I want it. I would love a Caravanassery here, and I do get one. Also, all the military is here, though. I'd love to play a military card, but I think Caravanassery is very strong in my position. Gonna go for it. I think the flexibility of saving me money that I don't really have is important. But passing on these free military cards is tough, although these are both stables. Yeah, so double stables was in that hand, and archery range is in that hand. So yeah, I'm looking for a trading ground or a walls. That might not happen. Yeah, here's a walls that I can't actually do. Here's a library for a coin. But more importantly is a vineyard. I don't have access to money. This is going to totally fuel all my other card purchases. I'm going to play a kind of high yellow game. We do see military get played. It makes sense. I also passed them walls. They can't play walls either, though, so that's an upshot. This is an expensive laboratory, and yet I think I might play it because I don't know who else. There's two labs. Okay, so playing the lab doesn't matter much. I was gonna try to block Katie a little, but this is an 8 coin card. I can just play Big Yellow. Big Yellow's not really a thing, I don't think, but it's what I'm gonna do. Katie has a workshop anyhow, or whatever, a lab. 2 coins for an aqueduct, I think, is okay, given that I am running a coin-heavy game plan. I don't really want to play more cards, so yeah, we'll do this. It's a bit of a funky position. I definitely am curious where the rest of the military cards are ending up. There's one of them. There's another of them. So yeah, the military game, I might regret how I've played it. I think I am just going to stack some of these symbols. That's all I really have to do here. And then I might get past a military card. And I don't. So it's possible all the other military got buried, which is a bit of a bummer. But I know that there's at least a scriptatorium in the discard pile, and I don't care about these cards. My next age is a little rough. I don't actually have that much economy here. I kind of need to be able to chain some things or get some cheap things. So I'm running a tricky game here. I need whatever. I think it's the lighthouse, right? Part of my game is to get a lighthouse. Yeah, I really want a lighthouse. Lighthouse is 5 coins and 5 points, which is nice. There is military cards in the discard. Well, this is a clear military card. That's surprising. I did not expect to see them here, but people sold or trashed them or something. There's a lot of good stuff in the discard this time, actually. This is where Hallie looks pretty strong. It doesn't really matter which I play. Oh no, it does matter. Walls actually chains into a card, right? I need to look at the chains. Walls does chain into a card, whereas the others don't. So I should play the walls out of the discard. Because I might chain into another military during the next stage here. These players are picking up easy wins on Katie, though. This is like, again, part of the problem going heavy science, and you're not going that heavy a science, and you're giving people free military wins. It's pretty nice. I think this Magistrates Guild could work out. I think my opponents are going to wind up playing quite a few blues, just because how else are they going to score here? Yeah, I think I'm going to pay 2 coins for the Magistrates Guild. I think this is going to be like a 7 point card by the end of the age. It's currently 3, and I think it's pretty likely my opponents play some blues. Although that's not currently the case. Wow, my opponent played a 4 point Craftsman Guild. That's an 8 point card for me. I'm so sad they took that. I really said I wanted the Lighthouse. There's a lot of military in this hand, but the Lighthouse is by far the best card for me. It helps make sure I continue to have money, although I do have lots of money. But 5 points, 5 coins is good. Passing all the military is a bit sad, but I know there's more military in the discard. Fighting military too hard at age 3 usually is losing, so I'm going to just try to play some of the best cards. I really hope my opponents start playing blue cards, though. That Magistrates Guild was a bit of a gamble. I wasn't sure how they were going to score, but like this hand was just crap for my opponent, unfortunately. So he took the 4 point card because everything else was bad for him. I mean, he could have played military, but we also see the Ship Owners Guild go already. That's an interesting card. We get a Scientist Guild down there. That's fine. Spies Guild is fine. We do get a blue card there. That helps us. I want my opponents to play blue cards, so I can take the Craftsman's Guild here as 6. The arena is not actually very good for me. I don't have much filled in. A 6 point Senate is fine, but I'd rather just see him play the Senate and give me another point, probably. Yeah, I think I do just take this Workers Guild. Both my opponents just played military. It's a bit of a bummer to see. My opponent's passing blue cards. Well, now I play a Senate because, well, or I could play a free lodge. I could play free lodge and hope for whatever, or I could. Nah, I'm just gonna play for the Senate. Whatever, this is fine. There's lots of cards in discard that work for me still, but the military fight looks like I might just lose military, or I gotta play 2 military cards, and I'm not convinced I want to commit to 2 militaries. I was really hoping this Magistrates Guild was gonna. Wow, yeah, another military card. Well, that largely kills my military like desire to fight, I think. Here's an academy that's expensive, but it's probably the play. The arena here is it's currently 1, 2, 3, and probably is a fourth point, so it's 4 point card. This is a 5 point card that costs me. This is a 1, 2, 3 point card that comes with a big gold. This is a little better, but they're all kind of terrible. It might be better just to build my wonder and then build my wonder again. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go for. I think paying money to Sammy D is fine. Sammy's game doesn't look great. Yellow's game doesn't look great though either. I'll pay both. There's some blue cards. There's the Magistrates game guild pulling through. The discards are still trash. If I play a 2 point military card here, it allows me to play a 3 shield military. I'm just gonna take a 3 pointer. It's fine. It's not good. Well, okay, I did get past military, so maybe I should have filched the military card out of the discard. But I'll just build my wonder here and hope that there's something better. I mean, I'm at 48, but I'm losing 2 points to military, and my other guys, like, yellow is getting 10 points. I mean, that takes him at 48. Sammy D is winning both military battles. Sammy D is also behind. This is a pretty close game. Here I just take this, or I could take this. Do either of my opponents have guilds that matter? Looks like the answer is no. Looks like I just play the compass here. It's 5 points either way. I'll take the science, I guess. Whatever. This is going to be a close game. It might have won this. Yeah, I won a very close game. Wow, very close. But I do win it. 51. Well, that's huge. That was a close game. 51 points. Played just a really weird mishmash here, right? Like a little bit of science, a little bit of guilds, a little bit of yellows, a little bit of blues, a little bit of military. Yeah, like I netted 2 points on military at least. Just a really, yeah, points in every category. Wound up with a decent bit of money too off those cards. Yeah, that was an interesting one. I did not. This Magistrates Guild, I do think, was a very good pick. Like, my opponents had to play blues to score that age. I just wanted them to play even more, even faster, but they did wind up playing several each, because it's just one of the only ways they could have scored. Well, that's pretty big for my chances to make the semifinals at least. Because now I should be up there. Yeah, I'm up to fourth. I mean, there's a couple people still in their sixth game, but definitely have moved up there. Wow, 50 points though for this player. I wonder what their Seven Wonders rating is up to. Like, this is insane. Yeah, up to a 488. Like, they're this one of the best Seven Wonders players on the sites now after all those wins. Skies is also apparently very good. How did he get a 69 at a table of good players? I mean, the only answer is science. Like, it's the only way you get 69 usually. Oh, wow, it's not science, though. He must have had really easy military wins then. To get 69 points means that you're sitting next to, like, idiot, like, fools, usually. I'm very curious about this game. I'm gonna try to rewatch this one. Like, it's obviously a good player. Okay, Ephesus makes some sense to me, too. Ephesus is just, like, the best wonder. Oh, rewatching games is miserable on BGA though. Like I have to. It should go much faster in my opinion. Like I don't need to see everything fancy, but I don't. Maybe it goes faster for other people. Anyhow, should chuck chat again quick too. Yeah, nothing there. That's fine. I'm curious how this player won, and this is where like Snellman and Snellman's hard to rewatch games too, but like I don't understand why BGA rewatching games is so kind of laggy, funky type thing. This is really interesting. This is a 69-point game to me at this point because like Skies is not doing anything crazy impressive to me. He's just setting up a solid economy, which is great, but he didn't get any of the like all the split resources went elsewhere. Although the military does look like it's splitting very well for Skies. Like it looks like these two are gonna fight. These two might just never play military, and Skies is eventually gonna play military cards here in H2 and just get very. I'm guessing he gets very cheap military wins as part of how he wins this game. It also looks like, yeah, people are buying from him, so that's always welcome. Just getting paid money. Has a wonder that just gives him money. Probably builds military here to discourage his neighbors from doing so. I should just put this to go to end of game so I don't have to keep clicking and hopefully it'll move along. I should pay attention to if I have a game coming. I got one game left here still. Yeah, I mean, it looks like I'll make the semifinals, probably. How'd Lumen do in his last game? Where's he at? Lumen's fallen down. Oh, but Lumen's still in his game, so he could move up. Watching Skies here. Skies is a good player, just takes the military. Yeah, his neighbors just choose to go 0 military, it looks like, is the big answer. So that's an easy way to get 69 when you have two players as your neighbors that just ignore military. It's just too many free points. And that's what it looks like is happening here. Yeah. I mean, I kind of get why these players give up the military game. I mean, these players go heavy military. But it does give just incredible advantage to Skies here. Curious if he buries here. Yeah, he does bury. Just as convinced his neighbors are just never going to play military. Just keeps playing points. Also winds up with a huge guild for him too. But yeah, his neighbors do just never play military. He could just sell this card even. Yeah, and he does. 69 while selling. Oh, not selling last card. Does bury last card, but yeah. All right, well, that's the answer. This guy's got a 69 because his neighbors let him get cheap military. All right, let's see where we're standing. That was another big win. Very close win, but fun times. Fun times. We are up to 4th. Thanks, Heroic Logic. Thanks, Fofo. I'm guessing we're not actually 4th anymore. Yeah, we're down to 6th, which makes sense. Other people had to finish game 7s. But that's okay. Did Lumen leapfrog us? Lumen's right. Lumen's tied with us. Nice. After 7 games, there's Lumen right up near the top. We got a couple 40s. Not many, though. Tournament doesn't end after the next round. Top 25 should come to the Discord for the finals. Sweet. I should probably be able to maintain top 25, although actually it's not that easy. Top 25 currently is cut off at 36, although the tricky thing is like if this is a real Swiss, which it is, like the top players keep getting paired against each other, so then it doesn't leave a lot of opportunity for the people down below to be sneaking ahead. A couple, but still, this is crazy. Like 50, right? Because we've played 7 games. 56 is the max, and you're at 50. It's pretty impressive. Especially because you keep winning at strong tables. But like, oh well, I'm having a nice run. That's all I was really hoping for today. Making the quarterfinals would be fun, and if it goes further than that, cool. But I didn't really expect to like win this one. But I'm glad I decided to play in it. It's playing speedy enough too that I don't feel too bad about committing to it. I have played a lot of games today though. It's really all I'm doing. That's okay. It was a nice day. I did go on a little bit of walks, worked out this morning. That was all good. Read a book for a bit. It's just been a good chill day, which I kind of needed. So I'm gonna be dog sitting for my sister for like the next week. So I'm gonna have two crazy hooligans running around. So that's gonna. It was a good day probably to just get rest anyhow. All right, come on, tournament. All right, not quite going yet, but we'll get there. Let's see what the updates are on the standings. We're down to ninth. Oof, yeah, there's tons of people in these 40s now that more games have completed. But I mean, ninth after. I mean, to be fair, whatever. Ninth after 7 rounds is still pretty good. But yeah, my cutoff for top 25 here, the margin is still pretty slim. I gotta have a pretty good game to make the quarterfinals. Uh, Looks like round 8 must have just launched based on that chat. Yep. All right. Do we wind up with Lumen? We do. I was waiting for a game with Lumen. That's fun. Lots of other strong players here, though. Lots of good ratings at this table. So no easy win or anything here. Just gotta hope to play well. Maybe get a good wonder. Get some good breaks. Get the right distribution of stuff. Gotta make good choices too. But right, it's a little tricky. Like everybody's gonna make good choices here. So the difference is a little bit kind of just how some of the stuff breaks. But we'll see. On some level, I want to make the quarterfinals just because it's fun to do well, but um, part of me like kind of just is happy if I don't make the quarterfinals and I'm just done. Like I'm also content just being done, but there, he finally joined the game. It took a little bit. That's okay. Some people need to step away and do stuff. All right, a new wonder board for us. I think B side is probably still better. Both sides require 4 ore. Um, you get 10 points and 2 shields. Here you get 7 points, 2 shields, and 7 coins. It's essentially identical, but it takes one less card. I'd much rather take one less card to complete my wonder. It does look like completing my wonder could be tough. I'm gonna need some friendly plays. Lumen has Halicarnassus here with both science symbols, or like all the raw materials next to him. This looks pretty sciencey, so hopefully my opponents block it. I don't think I can play much blocking here. Um, Opening pack kind of sucks. None of this is very great. Uh, yeah, probably just play the clay pit here. Probably only need one access to one clay this game, but it depends a bit on what split resources come my way. It's possible just playing the press here is okay. Both the press and the loom, like I might kind of need to play for myself, but we'll see. I do get offered a split resource and it does have a brick, so I'm a little bit sad about playing in brick because I don't really need this brick anymore, but it's okay. We do see ore and ore on my neighbors, so a single ore card will guarantee me the ability to build my wonder later. So I like that aspect of things. Lumen did pay 2 coins right off the bat for science, so he is trying for the heavy science open, and he's probably gonna get it. So yeah, he's already well on his way. I'm curious where the other split card is because nobody's playing it, but there's a brick wood split which I'd be very happy to get, which makes me a little hesitant to play the wood here, but the rest of this hand is garbage, so I'll just play the wood. I guess the brick wood split is probably here. Because this player chose to play that one instead, which is fair. Then Lumen chose to play science instead of the split. Yeah, there's the split. So that's a little unfortunate because a lot of the early stone is not near me. So getting this stage of my wonder means I probably need to play double stone myself. I'm tempted to just take the 5 coin tile. It provides a lot of flexibility for a little bit. I don't really care for 3 points over 5 coins. The only choice might be the marketplace. I like to be able to buy the raw materials here. The only problem with the marketplace is it kind of is relying on Olympia to build those cards for me. And Olympia admittedly doesn't have access to either of these, so you'd think Olympia will be building the grays, at least playing a loom for me. But who's gonna play the press for me? I don't think it's gonna work. So I think I'm hoping for a forum. Here I said that building a single ore vein is not a terrible idea because it means I can definitely build my wonder later. The only other way I'm building my wonder is if I spike a caravanassery, which would be sweet. I'd love to spike a caravanassery, but a buyer looks bad, so I think I just play the ore here, but this is not a great start. I'm playing a lot of resources to make this happen. Uh, I do have a buyer pointed at me, and I might get another buyer pointed at me. It's possible Alexandria is going to point a buyer, so that'd be nice. The military is not going in my favor, though. Lumen is almost certainly not going to play much military this game the way he's playing. So the military fight's a little gross for me. Here I just play the baths. It at least changed into an aqueduct. This just changed into a statue, which I don't care about. But yeah, I don't know how this game's actually going for me. Lumen has the dream start. He got all the science cards, didn't get blocked. He has a paper, which is perfect for playing the school. The school takes a paper and a wood. He can chain all the other science cards, and now he can play a school for just a wood and a paper. He's gonna have a huge science game. I mean, he's gonna lose the military battles, but I think Lumen's probably winning this game. We'll see. I'm losing the military fights here. I need to get a double stone. I need to get a double stone card, which means I'm playing 5 brown cards, which is a lot. I kind of am regretting this opening clay pit, it turns out. I think not playing the clay pit and instead playing like the paper myself, that might have turned out better. Lumen doesn't get the paper then, but it's hard to know that I'm going to get past that split card, so Lumen plays the marketplace here, which is kind of interesting. It lets him buy a glass one cheaper, and I think the main reason is it lets him chain a caravanassery if he finds one. I find a caravanassery, and I generally like that more, but I just need the double stone too much. Neither of my neighbors have stone, so gotta play double stone here, and then this opening pack sucks for me on the wheel for the most part, unless it gets me a card like the paper I don't have access to. But I'm really hoping to find the forum. If I can find the forum, that's really helpful for me. Um, the upshot is none of my opponents should really want the forum, so I might be able to get it. But it's definitely painful to be playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 already quasi plus then a forum for all my resource needs. But now I start playing military. I would like to win these military battles. Lumen does spike a caravanassery. It's a very dreamy start for him. I'm going to play some military here. It does look like the rest of the table might fight military enough to kind of annoy each other. I'm hoping my opponents are kind of happy to just not fight military that much, but especially given that, again, I don't think Lumen's going to play much military, but we'll see. Ultimately, this game looks okay for me, but I don't think it's breaking it particularly well. My opponent is fighting military against me. I can't even play this military card. Oh, because I already have it. I was like, why can't I play it? But duh, I already have a copy of it. So, I can bury this military so my opponent doesn't at least play one. But Could just pay 2 coins for a courthouse. I could bury the science, is what I probably should do. Although Lumen already just played one of those symbols. Like I think I play a courthouse here and hope I'm gonna get other science to stash. But the table as a whole is not actually looking like they're stopping Lumen on much of anything, and it looks like the military fight is going to be annoying. I am passing my opponent to stables. Even if he plays stables, I can build my wonder, so I think that's okay. But I don't think I'm gonna get good. Don't think I'm gonna get good military points here, and I don't think I'm getting. I don't know what other good easy points I'm necessarily getting, but we'll see. I mean, I at least have an okay military. I still haven't seen the forum, by the way, which I would like to play, but it must be in the next hand, so it's not a guarantee I'm gonna get it. Here is there only no? There's 2 labs in the game. Well, I guess I bury the laboratory here and hope for the best. I hope it matters. Lumen did pick up the school. The school is very important. Chains into more, just chains into more green cards, so you can just keep building greens. It's possible somebody buried the forum this age, which would be a shame because burying the forum is, in my opinion, silly compared to burying all the green cards. But nobody else is playing green, so we'll see. I'm hoping the forum is getting past to me here. Without the forum, I have to pay for all my raw goods next stage, and that could prove to be too much probably. But maybe not. Maybe it's okay. My neighbor does play the military. I passed him. Not shocking. The forum is still here. Here's the other laboratory. I could just bury the other lab here, but I think playing the forum and being prepared for long term is more important. But yeah, the military split is awful here for me. Like, not gonna. My 2 neighbors are playing heavy military against, or not heavy, but they're playing reasonable amounts of military against my wonder, which is also military focused. So I think we're all cutting into our efficiency. This guy is pretty well off because he's just gonna beat Lumen. Although this guy also looks like he's played too many resources. Ugh. I think I just gotta play the forum though. I think it's too good. I think it's too important. And then here, it doesn't matter what I bury. I guess I bury this because Lumen definitely doesn't want to loom, but doesn't look great. Does not look great. The laboratory didn't even get buried here, so Lumen can pull a laboratory out of the discard, and indeed that's what he's about to do here. Because yeah, it didn't. I was hoping that this player was going to bury it, but I buried a lab. But this guy, instead of building his wonder here, he just played a card, which probably is right. But yeah, there's the laboratory that Lumen just got. Maybe Lumen's not having that monster of a game. He does just have 2 sets, but he has 2 sets already and a whole of age 3. So I think it's gonna prove too much. This opening hand is underwhelming. It's really garbagey, honestly. I guess Haven's pretty good for me. The Craftsman's Guild is no good though. There's not enough gray cards. The Shipowners Guild isn't awful, except for the fact that it costs me too much. But a free Haven is actually fine. Five points and 5 coins is totally fine. Not as good as what everybody else is playing, but it's all I got. Here, this hand is garbage. I mean, I don't have enough red cards for Ludus or whatever to be worth it. I already just played a Haven, so here I just played the Siege Workshop. Do I want to pay Matt or do I want to pay White? Matt looks like he's in some money problems, so I think I'd rather pay White. Lumen did have to play a Gardens rather than playing Science cards, but that could be a strategy. Lumen might be just trying to take the good cards out of the packs and just assuming that we can't all bury enough Science. So, like, in Lumen's position, I actually think that's probably a really strong play. Like, just play the good cards for everybody and assume you're just going to get handed or science cards late in this age because there's just too many science cards. Yeah, that's what Lumen is doing. Lumen's just taking the best. Like he just took an 8 point guild. He's just having a monster game and he's going to have great science cards left at the end of this age because nobody else wants them. My neighbors make this a 6 point spies guild, which is good. I could keep fighting them on military myself, but I don't really want to. Although the problem is, if I don't play more military, I probably just lose. But we all lose if we just keep spamming military. But like, I'm not giving my opponent any choice here. My opponent's going to play a military card because I'm passing him absolute garbage if I play Spies Guild. But whatever. He'll play another military card, and that military card will at least be worth another point to me. So makes it a 7 point Spies Guild, but ugh, it's gross. Although, okay, now here's an interesting question. Where are the rest of the military cards this age? There's one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Well, that's a pain. There's 7 cards in 5 player. What a terrible freaking player count. Why are there 7? I know that 2 of them are here and I've played one, but what's the point of playing more of them if there's just that many? The answer is there's no good point in playing more, and I'll just take a free 6 points, and I'm gonna accept that I probably am not getting military cards on the wheel, but playing more military here is painful as all get out. The lighthouse is fine. The other cards suck. Lumen is now starting to play science cards at the end of this age. He's gonna get a third set. Plus, he played other strong cards early. It's a really nicely played game by Lumen, but yeah, just the rest of the table did nothing to stop him. That counts me, but I feel like I'm the one least responsible for stopping him. I don't have any of the manufactured goods. I have the least bury slots. I did bury a science card. What more am I supposed to have done to slow him down? But yeah, I mean he looks well on track to winning this game. The rest of us are fighting too much militarily. I'm still gonna lose, I think, but oh well, again, it's a strong table and it's hard to figure out who's supposed to stop the science player sometimes, but this is definitely not it. Yeah, military for my neighbor. I'm gonna lose all the military battles. The last card sucks as expected. This is a 2 point guild, but yeah, this opening part of the problem for this round for me is my opening pack just had too much bad cards. Like as long as I got past something better here, my round would also be better, but just no good cards are left. I'm gonna lose both military fights, so all this military I played this game is like I literally am losing 5 military battles despite having a good amount of military. It's just a lot of military investment for my neighbors, which is fine. Military is worth points. I've been complaining about inefficient military, but we're just letting the science player crush us. I'm probably taking fifth here, and probably yeah, I mean, whatever. That just happens. But I'm not next to Lumen, who's just giving away cheap science, or like at least this guy is getting cheap military wins. I can't get cheap military. I couldn't get the cards I wanted. I mean, whatever. These games happen, but this one's just gross. I mean, Lumen's gonna crush us, and the rest of us are gonna have pretty. Well, wow. Okay, actually, White did not have that bad of a game, but White's the one that had. Oh no, White didn't have free military wins, but yeah. I had the rough game, so I'm probably not advancing with that result, but that's all right. Uh, but yeah, that was just gross to watch. Like, I did my best to slow down Lumen, but what else am I supposed to do there? You blocked. Okay, so Green is saying he blocked 2 science cards, so he did something, but yeah, and White blocked nothing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is just such an ugly game, though. I needed a better last card. Maybe I was supposed to play one more military card this age. But again, yeah, it's just like, whatever. The splits here were garbage, but it happens. Anyhow, I think Lumen still has a fairly easy win. I think Lumen's largely correct here. The opening packs, like the timing of everything was perfect. Like Lumen, I think mostly played Marketplace, hoping to spike a Caravanassery. He did, and then the Science cards still came at the right times. Got an 8 point guild that was easy enough for him to play somehow. Like right, he just has like the right resources that was viable. Um, like again, it happens. It's fine. Both my neighbors chose to play heavy military games against a Wonder that has good military, and the military cards just weren't timed out well for what I needed to do. Even if I play some more military though, like it's just I don't have efficient points here at all. Like I need a better last card. I don't even know. I had to pay. I played too many cards into my economy, but I don't really know where else I was supposed to skimp on my economy. I needed better payoffs for my economy, but I didn't get them. I don't totally know what they would have been. I mean, a magistrate's guild would have been pretty good here, but and again, I mean, whatever. It's just partly seat order. Like, if I'm just sitting in this seat, I'm picking up free military wins against Lumen, and I have a lot of other choices. I'm squeezed by military players here. I guess I'm supposed to go science, but I can't go science really. Yeah, whatever. It's some games might just be losing. That might just be part of how it is. So. 5 player was an adventure after we only used to fun. 5 to try. Yeah, it was. It was an adventure. Thanks, Patrick, for joining us on the adventure. It was a fun time. Uh, I am assuming I am not advancing with that 5th place. That can't have been good for me. I'm currently at exactly 25. Somehow I'm winning the tiebreaker on everybody, and I don't know what the tiebreaker is. But apparently I'm the best 40 point player. It does look like everything might be done. Well, no, there's a couple 7s left, but they're pretty low down. So, maybe I am still playing. I guess I better go wander into the Discord, and then I should feed my dog first. All right, let's go see what's happening. It looks like maybe I am the lucky 25th player, though. We'll go look at the leaderboard again. It could be that it shows me as 25 just to me. I don't know, but I guess we'll go look in the Discord here. I'm supposed to show up. God, people write a lot of things, which is fine, but it's a little annoying. It looks like they're asking all of the players that scored at least 40 to check in. So it's possible they're not implementing a tiebreaker. They're going to take like 33 players into this round, which I'm not quite sure how that's going to work. It's possible they're going to use their own tiebreaker system. I don't know, but I guess I'm still playing for a bit. Okay, no, apparently they are in order. Apparently it's sum of opponents' points. It's a measure of how difficult your games were. Is that BGA doing that, or is that what they're gonna do? It wouldn't totally shock me if I do have that tiebreaker though, because I won like I did fairly well in my early games and then wound up at tough tables and then started having issues, especially that last one. Last one had big issues, but Lumen did wind up 5th at the end of this, and isn't that far away from first, which is nice. Lumen has a good chance of actually like winning. Winning is still like based on overall points, so even if you win the like quarterfinals and semifinals and stuff, you're not guaranteed to win the tournament. But Lumen looks like he's in a good position to potentially win the tournament, which would be pretty sweet. But yeah, we're gonna see what happens here. I guess it looks like there's a chance that I'm still playing for a bit, which is fine. Loki's fed, so he should be okay for a bit. And then hope they'll finish up pretty soon, though, because well, I likely will finish up pretty soon, right? Even if I make this quarterfinal game, I'll play it. But pretty much the only way I advance to the next round is if I win, because I'm at the bottom. But that's fine. Again, I didn't expect a huge thing. I didn't totally know how to adapt to 5 player. I'm still not sure I totally know how to adapt to 5 player. And admittedly, the middle of the tournament is very tight. So like, I did just well enough to sneak ahead, which is all I could really ask. Looks like they're trying to start the next round in 10 minutes. So it's a bit of time to wait, but we'll see. Current ranking apparently is based on opponent's elo, according to people in chat now, which maybe is correct. Again, I wouldn't be shocked if I played the highest elo, like slate, of all the players that are currently ranked 40th. It is interesting only. Oh well, I was gonna say it's interesting only one player got 41, but it's not. Like the tournament's only awarded even points. The only way to get odd number of points was to be in one of the funky early games. All right. Well, this is pretty boring waiting, but I actually think I will just shift over to a boring waiting screen for a few minutes here. I'm gonna like maybe actually go to the bathroom and get a drink. So I'll be back in a few minutes, but it looks like nothing's gonna start for just a little bit. So very short hiatus. Be right back. All right, I am back. Okay. Uh, wait a sec. Is this? Huh. Okay. I don't know. I'm like confused by something, but that's fine. All right. Mike keeps saying that their official tiebreaker is sum of opponents' scores, so I'm curious if they're actually trying to calculate that for everybody. It seems like it's a little bit of painful amount of work on Mike's end, Mike being the guy that runs this tournament, but he might be doing it. In which case, I maybe don't actually have the. It's possible I don't have the. But yeah. I'm gonna review some Terra Mystica rules for tomorrow. Go ahead and see some things. The real question is if they're trying to run Terra Mystica through Board Game Arena's system or if they're announcing games. But I think they're announcing games tomorrow. I don't think there's any. I don't think there's any BGA thing. Yeah, I think for this one we are doing a draw and stuff, which is fine. Yeah. Yeah, we continue to just, or I continue to just sit here and wait and see if I'm actually the 25th player or not. I think they maybe should just use BGA's system in the future because it seems like it's a pain for Mike to try to go through and calculate out like 8 players tiebreak number, but I'm not in charge of what amount of work Mike does and does not want to do, and I am still fairly happy to just go take my buddy to the dog park or to just play a game. We'll see. This has been a long stream by the end here, 2.5 hours of Seven Wonders action, which makes sense. Actually, it's a little longer than that, though, right? Because I played game one, but people told me I had mic issues, which I don't understand why my audio keeps getting funky and I have to like restart. But I guess I should like really get used to. I need to restart and like set my audio up right before I stream because otherwise it gets funky and I don't know why. But oh well. It's been a fun day of streaming though. Plus, it's more fun to go watch Lumen, right? Lumen's. I'm kind of curious to watch some of Lumen's stuff later. See, especially that last game from his perspective. But I'm a little curious too, just how it's going for him. Anyhow, this looks like it's taking a little longer, and my dog's going just a little bit wild. So I think I'm gonna go grab a bone for him, and I will be right back. It doesn't look like they're actually ready to start yet, which is okay, but only slightly annoying because I feel this is the other reason that I don't like convoluted systems for tournaments. If you can't tell players if they're actually in or out, there's some of us sitting on the bubble that are just waiting for you to tell us if we're actually playing or not, and it's a little annoying to like essentially ask me to wait around 15 minutes just so you can do some crazy calculation. Like find an easier tiebreak system, but I've told the MSO people a lot. They've taken a lot of good feedback. I think they do incredible work overall, so I'm not too sad. But all right, we'll just keep waiting for some Seven Wonders info. Do somebody's trying to check in right now. That's probably too late, but maybe not. All right, do Seven Wonders lobby. Oh, still haven't figured it out. Mike is saying almost there. Well, that's good. All right. Where do I give feedback? Where's that channel? I probably will give some feedback at the end. Again, as always, I really appreciate these guys that run this, but I think in the future you gotta have a faster tiebreak system. But what time's Terra Mystica tomorrow? Terra Mystica tomorrow is 9:30. Well, I should just reply in chat so you see it. Uh, but it's 9:30 a.m. Central U.S. time. Which is what, GMT -5? Yeah, I think that's correct. It's definitely 9:30 a.m. my time. I know that. I think that's GMT -5. Currently. It's the tournament info is on the website, but yeah. Huh. Your website. I keep going to the wrong website. Is this it? Or is this going to take me to their new website? There we go. Um, Yeah, here we go. Let's pull up the schedule. As for other MSO events, I'm busy a lot of other weekends. So like I'm gonna play Terra Mystica, which we'll pull up now. But then I don't know how much other stuff I'm gonna play. Like I wish I could play Through the Ages, but I'm busy like all these days. I might do some Acquire. Maybe you'll stream a bit of it. We'll see. Otherwise, I don't have plans this weekend, but I don't care for a lot of these games. Maybe I'll do the King Domino one and Jaipur one. I guess I like those games enough. It depends on how long the rounds are. And then I'm helping run Agricola, so I'll do Agricola. And then I've barely even looked at the rest of the stuff. Oh, Puerto Rico is a tournament. I might do a Puerto Rico. Maybe. Welcome to is an event too. Interesting. Maybe I'll do that. I might do Marrakesh too. It depends on which Marrakesh this is. There's a lot of games called Marrakesh. Ah, this is the one I thought, and it is on Board Game Arena. I might do this one too. This is a random nuts game. Although 8 rounds, God, never mind. I'm probably not doing it. I don't like Marrakesh that much. Yikes. Okay. Anyhow, yeah, Terra Mystica, 3:30 to 11:30 GMT +1. Yeah. Okay. So my time that's 9:30 to too late is the answer until what? Like it's gonna run 9. If this is 9:30 for me, this is -6 till 5:30. Yeah, I have an event that like starts at 4, so I think I probably am playing 2 games tomorrow. But all right, quarterfinal draw is up. Albert is unlucky 26. Am I actually here? Tournament draw. Announcements. Am I on there? I am on there. I'm on table 2. Okay, so I think they went through a lot of work to maybe just trust BGA's system, but all right. We have skies. We have Mars 15. Mars 15. Mars. Why can I not do this? Mars 15. Lelekti. And something. ODI. Oh, that's apparently wrong. Why? Why? I cannot read that damn name. Why is it so small, or is it spelled wrong? Odier. Odier Telly? There it is. It was a T. Let's read it as an F. Okay. I need to then figure out. I am in quarterfinal 2. All right. It does not look like there's voice chat. It looks like we're good to go. I have the new edition. I have it choose Wonder Side. I have normal speed, normal mode. I think we're good to go, but we'll double check with these guys, see if they have anything else. I will once again stop reading chat. I'm making sure that even if we do hop in a voice channel, you guys can't hear them, which appears to be the case. You should only hear me, which is how I want it. Yeah, okay, looks good. I'm gonna stop looking at this. Question mark doesn't really help me. Put more time. I don't think so. Skies is the guy that was really slow. Tournament rules say 12 minutes. Well, I'm going to ask Mike here. I cannot go to those times feeds. All right, Mike does say slow speed. Okay. All right, whatever, that's fine. I don't really care. I mean, Seven Wonders is a fast enough game, but sometimes some people think too long. Hey, first time playing Babylon. I see most people just go for B-side Babylon. A-side does look worse, but it all looks like crap to me, to be honest, but we'll see. I've always hated Babylon. Some people say Another Wonder is worse nowadays, and maybe it is, but I don't feel good about the start, I'll tell you that. But starting with this is good. I guess, I mean, I have a concrete, and there's another concrete next to me. Certainly don't feel bad about that, so that's what I'm going to run here. On the wheel, there's a decent chance I'll get a scriptatorium here. Don't totally know who's going to go science. I mean, it's likely Hallie is going to go some science. Skies might go a little science. Actually, yeah, there's a lot of science potential here with all the symbols, so. I get past a resource split card here. I usually just think these are the best. I need a lot of brick eventually. I think I'm just taking another split. I think they're usually the right play. So just much like Terra Mystic, I go for the economy, hope it works. That's kind of where I'm at. This next hand, this one's a little tricky. I kind of want to play Marketplace. I can at least buy the glass. I eventually need to buy glass. The problem with Marketplace is, will my opponents play gray cards for me? They haven't yet. This player is buying from not me. Ugh, stop pointing buyers away from me. I mean, he doesn't have a choice, but like buying from this player who I thought was going heavy science seems questionable, but nobody's going heavy science yet. I think I'll play the buyer. I'll hope people play gray cards for me. At this point, I also would really like a $5 card, but the other $5 card's in this hand, and now I just got blocked from it, so that's unfortunate because I could use money. But if we can't get money, I can play the first military. This guy's also going military, so that could be good. If I go heavy military, he goes heavy military, these guys just kind of bow out. Nobody's really going heavy science yet, but that's fine. Yeah, I'll play a military here. The other buyer does get pointed at me. Big fan of that. I love people paying me money. I can actually pay 1 coin for the workshop. I think I do that. I really don't want Hallie to get it later, so I'll play slightly sciencey this game. I got, a wonder. Stacking one symbol with Babylon is pretty good. And then I could just play a second military here. It means I go into the next stage with no money, but there's nothing Oh, I can't play this, though. Playing this in age 1 probably was worth it, but I can't, so whatever. I think I do just play another military card. I think, well, or I could sell this card is another option, but now I'm going to play the military. Yeah, and actually a good thing I do. It does get me another win, which I want, and helps continue to keep the tiebreak up. My neighbors are not playing gray cards though. Hallie has played all the gray cards, so hopefully my neighbors get there. I do hit a Caravanassery, which I love here. Caravanassery solves like all of my resource problems. I should start getting money pretty regularly too. So I do kind of want to take the laboratory, but there's two laboratories this age, right? Yeah, so I want one of them. So take the Caravanassery here. Looks good. Looks good. This is breaking pretty well for me, I think. The other laboratory did get played, and then we got a berry right off the bat here. Curious what got buried right off the bat, but I don't need to know. I'm just gonna play a stables. Getting some military tempo is good. The manufactured goods do look messy here. Because then Loom got, yeah, I don't know where the gray cards are. Well, here's a bunch of the gray cards. I'm really hoping somebody plays one of these presses for me because I'm never going to see them again. But like currently yellow has no access to a press and I haven't passed a forum. So like I think yellow is going to have to play that. I could just play the forum here and that gives me some really great flexibility actually. I think I have to play the forum here because I potentially am getting blocked from too much else, and I hope though that my neighbors play some more gray cards for me. But I think forum solves issues. I mean, I kind of want to play the walls here, but I think I got to play the forum instead. But yeah, I'd like to really lock up military wins too. But I have a really flexible economy here with lots of splits. I can start playing the last two cards of each age anytime here. I could get just a handful of science points and otherwise play a clean game. Could be alright. Could be that I wind up playing another game, which isn't necessarily my plan. But, you know, playing another game can't be the worst thing. Skies is using his time here to crunch things out, but again, that's fine, whatever. I mean, time is a resource and everybody has different paces of play. Does play a military card. Another military card there, so the only military card left is the walls, and this player can play the walls, so they might tie me, but that's okay. Here I just take a 4-point statue. Pretty willfully. I mean, I will say the manufactured goods, if my opponent keeps playing walls, my opponent does have some issues with manufactured goods. They're going to have to buy all of them very expensively. But if that's what they want to do, so be it. I mean, it just means my marketplace is turning a bit rough. I don't have full access to every resource good, which means like I can't play the palace, but I don't think it'll cost me too much. Did not play the walls, played the bazaar. So the only military card left in this age was in this hand. So I'm going to win both my battles, which is also pretty big. I'm feeling pretty good about this. Like, I have some efficient military set up. Hallie doesn't look like they're running away with science. I don't remember what's coming in my last pack. I'm hoping it's a laboratory, but it doesn't have to be. But I'm hoping it is. And I'm just going to bury a Caravanassery here. Like, I think it's a very good card, and I'm surprised nobody else wanted it. I really don't want anything here, and so I'm just hoping that the next pack has stuff that I want to double. I guess I could just play a Loom, but that's weak. I'm going to hope they just play a Loom for me as their last card. They probably won't. I could play a Glassworks and that. Well, this last pack is trash. I mean, I could build my Wonder, but I didn't get the lab. Or a Vineyard there, but I mean, my military is good. I really don't need these cards. I definitely don't need this. So I bury this, and then maybe do I play? There's no world where I play this. I'm just selling this for 3 cards or 3 coins, which is really unfortunate. I wish these cards were more useful, but the science is really split around the table, so oh well. Hopefully this pack that I see here is going to be great, though, because I'm going to get to play the first card out of it and the 6th and 7th card out of it. So I'm hoping it's full of stuff I want. And to be fair, it should mostly be full of stuff I want. I'm playing a little bit of military. I'm playing a little bit of science. I can play blues and can play guilds. So it's going to be a little hard for it to be like utter trash. And yet it could be trash. So hopefully it's not. It's very military, so I'm likely to get military cards back. I can't play the palace or this because my neighbors never played resources, so this is like the worst case nightmare because I don't have access to all the. I don't have access to everything, and I can't play this card either because I don't have access to either of it. So yeah, this wound up actually. This is a complete nightmare. This is a complete freaking nightmare. Um, I'm going to get past cards I just can't play at the end of the age, probably. I mean, somebody will probably Palace, and somebody probably does this, and then maybe somebody plays the Lodge, so I'll get past 2 military cards. Maybe. Which means I guess I take the University out of this pack. Taking the University out should mean that these players are going to take the Lodge out of the pack. Somebody should want the Palace. I might just get this stupid guild back, though, and I can't use it. But whatever. These were not the cards I needed to see. This was my fear. I said I needed to get a good opening pack because I'm going to see it a lot because of my stage. And even though I'm going to see this a lot, it's just trash for me because I never the lack of my neighbors playing gray cards is going to catch up to me. I mean, it's going to kind of catch up to him too, presumably. He can't play a lot of cards because he just doesn't have access to stuff. Here, a 6-point Senate is nice. A 2-point Scientist Guild gives great flexibility on science, but I'm really not trying to score much on science. This is a 6-point card, too. It might be better to play this yellow card, because the Lighthouse is pretty good for me. And there's another Senate in the deck, right? There's only one Ludus, but there is another Senate. I think, yeah, there's 2 Senates. So, yeah, I should play this card. It's worth 6 points anyhow in terms of money and yellow. It makes the Lighthouse better, and it means I can still get a Senate. The Palace went out of that hand, so that's encouraging. Here is the second Senate and the Town Hall, and a 7-point Workers Guild, but that's too expensive. This is the hand I wish I saw originally, right? Like, this is incredible. Like, if I could get the last 2 cards out of here, this is great. This is great stuff. This is what I want. But whatever, it's not what I got. I think I play a free town hall then, because other people might get stuck with multiple senates, and there's only one town hall. Yeah, so I'll just take the town hall out. Unfortunately, the player right in front of me takes the lighthouse. That makes lots of sense. I can play a 5-point gardens, or I can play some siege workshops. But oh, this guild did get played. So I might get double military cards at the end of the age because it's pretty likely one of these players is going to play the. It's likely one of them is going to play the other compass. So this is going to work out for me. I was hoping that it was going to go Palace, Traders Guild, and then the green card. So I'm going to wind up with double military at the end of the age. And since I'm going to wind up with double military, I play the 5-pointer here. And this is where tracking hands is important. Yeah, there goes. So this is 3 military cards in this guy's hand. Wow, these cards are unfortunate for me, though. These were also not what I was hoping for. I can't even play a Philosopher's Guild. Craftsman's Guild, my opponents literally didn't build gray cards for me. So I just play this Haven. It's pretty weak, but it's all I can do. But all my opponents look to have too many points here compared to me, I think. It doesn't look great. I just didn't quite wind up with... I didn't wind up with any good guilds. All the guilds turned out garbage for me. Like, I didn't get a chance at this Builders Guild. That would have been great. Yeah, just some of the distribution. Both my neighbors play in military, but I have 2 military cards here. So, I mean, I definitely play one of them. This guy's up to 8 shields. So, I mean, I probably just play both of them. It depends on what his other card is, but I likely just play 2 military cards here. It means I'll win the battles at the end of this, but, like, yeah, Skies is already at 54. Ephesus is just so good, especially when you get cheap military wins. He got really great military wins, and then just other good cards.
And just so much money. I mean, my God. I mean, he's played a lot of cards for money, but I'm guessing his opponents are also just paying him a lot. Yeah, I had to buy stuff from Skies. Maybe they aren't paying him that much, but paying Skies. Whatever. I mean, you can't win them all. Yellow looks like they're having a trash game, which I kind of knew. They're playing a lot of military here. They don't have a lot going for them. Everybody else looks pretty good. How is Mars doing? Mars is going to lose both his military battles, so I should beat that at least. Maybe I still can beat Hallie here. Probably not, though. Halicarnassus probably pulls out enough. Loses 2 points. I win some military. It depends on what their last card is. It depends a lot on what their last card is. It turns out I should play my last card. It wins me another military battle, so it's worth playing. Curious what this player pulls out of the discard. It matters. It probably determines if I beat them or not. Sky's last play was sell a card, so that's at least encouraging, but I think he still wins. I mean, he's winning 2 military battles for cheap. Like, he played 2 Age 2 military cards and 1 Age 1, and he's winning both battles. That's huge. Yeah, they pulled the Scientist Guild, so I think I'm taking third or fourth here, which means I'm not advancing, which is fine. I don't really want to advance. Yeah, I mean, I put up a really nice solid 56, but Skies with a huge 65, just way too cheap a military. And then Lelekti, a nice game, just playing science. I wound up not really blocking much science. I just wound up getting one set, which isn't much. They just have enough other things going on too. They wound up with more money than I thought. I really don't like these players that try to do the double buy things. Like you pay your opponent so much money, and that can let them get away with so much in their. It lets them get away with so much with their economy. And then the other problem for this guy is like he played no blue cards. And so like his only path to victory is like hypothetically military and his wonder. But like I also had like a huge military lead on him for most of the game. And then he also let himself like he couldn't play a lot of cards because all the manufactured goods cost him money. And like he had to pay for just yeah, whatever. I don't think he set up a good economy. I mean, I think he very much deserved last there, which whatever. That's fine. It happens, but I don't think he helped my goals around this table much. And just such cheap military wins here. Whatever. I can't be sad about putting up a 57, but yeah, I'm sure that's the end of my Seven Wonders day, so